1, 2, 3, 4. When I was maiden fair and young, on the pleasant banks of Lee, no bird that in the greenwood sung was half so blithe and free. My heart there beats with flying feet, no love sang me his queen. Till down the glen rolled Sarsfield's men, coming wore the jackets green.
Young Donald sat on his gallant grey, like a king on a royal seat, and my heart leapt out on his regal way to worship at his feet. Oh love, had you come in those colours dressed, and would the soldiers mean? I'd have laid my head on your throbbing breast for the sake of your jacket green.
Well, no hoarded wealth did my love own, the good sword that he bore, but I loved him for himself alone and the colours that he wore. For had he come in England's red to make me England's queen, I would rove the high green hills instead, for the sake of the Irish green.
When William stormed with shot and shell at the walls of Garryowen, in the breach of death my Donald fell, and his sleeves near the treaty stone. That breach the foeman never crossed, while he swung his broadsword keen. But I do not weep, my darling lost, for he fell in his jacket green.
When Sarsfield sailed away, I wept as I heard the wild call. I fell then dead as a man who slept in the fields of Garryowen, while Ireland held my Donald blessed, no wild sea rolled between, till I would fold him to my breast, or rolled in his Irish green.
My soul has sobbed like the waves of woe that shattered tombstone brave, for I buried me heart in his grave below, for his and for Ireland's sake. And I cry, make way for the soldier's bride, in your halls of death, sad queen, for I long to rest by my pillow of side, and wrapped in the folds of green.
And I saw the Shannon's purple tide go by the Irish town, as I stood in the bridge by young Donald's side, when England's flag went down. And now it lowers when I see the sky, a blood-red curse between. I weep, but it is not to woman's sighs, a razor Irish green.
Oh, Ireland, says thy lonely soul, and land beats the winter sea. But sadder and higher the wild waves roll, o'er hearts that break for thee. Yet grief shall come to our heartless foes, and the bones in the dust be seen.
So Irish maids love none but those who wear the jackets green.
You're listening to the Rebel Rebel podcast with Rory Carson. Tasha Vigeshdak, listen fod Curly Rebel Rebel, le Rory McCarson.
Well, afternoon, folks. How you all doing? Welcome to another Rebel Sundays on the Rebel podcast with myself, Ro, folks, this afternoon, as usual. So please, can you share the stream? I say it at the start of the show every week, but it's very important, folks. We'll get this here stream shared out specifically on Facebook. So if you're watching on Facebook, just hit as many share buttons as you can to any groups you're part of, Irish music groups, Celtic groups, Rebel music groups, Republican groups. Just share it to them all. Share it on your own page if you can, folks. Be much appreciated. If you're watching the show on Twitter, please retweet the stream. Thank you very much. And also, if you're watching on YouTube, you can copy and paste the link and busy just share it on any of your social media pages. I will advise anybody, folks, jump onto YouTube, please, and watch the stream from there. Just obviously on Friday night there, we'll cut off 3 times. We did. I think we'll cut off 4 times last Sunday from Facebook. Obviously, I can just restart it again. But just means if you're watching on YouTube, you'll be able to watch the whole show without getting kicked out and then having to restart the stream again. So just go on to YouTube, folks, and search for the Rebel podcast, and the stream will come up straight away. Yeah, so today's guest, folks, we're back with a guest this week. So delighted to have Stefan on the show today. So we'll have this the man here. Hold on a second, we'll get his flyer up. Was talking to him last night. Really looking forward to it. Had them on. He sent me the track, and we're going to be playing from him. So it's a literally unreleased track from his upcoming debut album, Rebel Heart. So this will be the first time today anybody has heard any track from this here album, folks. So very privileged that Stefan has given me this song today, and we'll be having him on live on screen at about between 2:10 and 2:30. So really looking forward to that there, folks. Right, so say any of your questions you have, folks, let me know. Any songs you want to hear today. Say we're going to be playing 3 of Stefan's songs. We're going to play 1 song before the interview starts. We'll play 1 song mid-interview. And then, as usual, we'll play another song just once the interview is finished. So if you have any questions or anything for him, let me know. I have an interview laid out, but I say, if there's any questions anybody wants to know at all, let me know and we'll get them on to him. Right, let's see who we'll have jumping in this afternoon. On YouTube, Derek Delaney, how you doing? Derek, good to have you join the station. You ditched us for Shebeen on Friday night. But I've seen a few videos and look fantastic. Big shout out to McGinty on the drums. He's a cracking drummer, but just some of them songs, he just brings so much life into them, for Rebel songs. So fair play to you. And then see Big Zach as well, playing the whistles and the flute. With Shebeen on it, good to see him back on the road again. On YouTube, Joseph McGill is watching. How you doing, Joseph? On Facebook, Kieran Kez Freel, listen over in Canada. How you doing? Steve Kerr is listening from Toronto as well today. Catherine Brown is watching. How you doing? On Facebook. Denise Heffron, how you doing, Denise? How did you just go on last night? I seen a few years there on Potter Brown's the Shebeen gig. Looked like a great night, so it did. Deirdre Cardwell, how you doing, Deirdre? Lanky67 is watching. Good afternoon, comrades on YouTube. Jim McCaff, how you doing? Marty Heaney, how you doing, Marty? Scott Temperley is on. And Kev D as well, watching on YouTube today. Happy days. Right, let's see what we'll go do here. Just get rid of that there. Right. So we're going to play the first songs this afternoon. Go do a tune here. Just a wee shout out to Mick Chinford. They had to say, if any of you were watching the show on Friday, and then folks, big up to you as well. Everybody tuned in. 5 hours. We stayed here till, I think we were wrapped up just before 1 o'clock in the morning. It was a class show. So it was, they had a few beers anyway. My man and dad had a few drinks in them downstairs, which is probably why we kept the show on for so long. So we did. We had a bit of a lock-in, but it was great. Everybody stayed on the whole night. But just regarding, what I'm going to say, folks, regarding Friday, is me and only me, okay, will decide who gets kicked off or banned from this page. Nobody else, okay? So I don't want to see anybody, if people have petty arguments with family members or whatever, do not bring them onto this page, okay? If somebody puts a comment up that I don't like, whatever, the comment will be put off, and not necessarily the person will be moving the page, but I just don't want this page, folks. I've worked far too long over the last few years to build this page and this show up to what it is, for people to come on here and have wee petty arguments over the comments section and then take screenshots and follow them on, send them on to HR. And I've had enough of that balls, folks. I don't want to be part of this show on a Sunday, and I'm not going to have it. So I don't care who you are, and any of you can take out the way you want to feel it, okay? But I'm not going to have basically people coming on here having arguments with each other, back and forth in the comments, and then basically my name getting brought into it. So I'm not going to have it. So I say it's a fresh slate today, okay? If you have arguments, people who don't like certain people, that's okay. But I'm not going to ban nobody from watching this show just because they don't like a certain person who watches the show, you know what I mean? So that's the way it's going to be. So that's out of the way, okay? So just regarding Friday night, I made a statement about Charlie and the boys. A few people sent me a couple of PMs that didn't really like it. A few of them were tongue-in-cheek, but a couple of them as well were like, who the fuck do you think you're talking to? Who do you think you're talking about? Basically, I had said that more or less Charlie and the boys weren't for me. That's all I said. I don't think they're a great band. And I had sort of said I don't think they've been great since Mick Chimford left the band. That's just my personal opinion. So obviously I was talking to Mick last night. He sent me a PM about 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was talking back and forth to him. A lot of respect for Mick. Obviously we'll have Mick on the show there last year. He's a great guy, so he is a top-notch character. So listen, I think he's listening in today. But listen, we'll go do one of Mick's songs. He brought an album out there a few years ago. Actually, it was in 2012, but the album was called 12 Dead Good Songs. What a name for an album. So we're going to do a song here from the album, and it's called Sean South. This is Mick's take on this wee tune. It's a cracking tune. So this is the first song, ladies folks, on Rebel Sundays for you. This is Mick Chimford from over in Scotland with his album 12 Dead Good Songs, and this is Sean South. If it plays. There we go.
He was born in the city where the river Shannon flows, a youth of tender bearing, as everybody knows. He loved our native language because it was our own, and Irishmen should not forget Sean South from Garryowen. As New Year's Eve was drawing near, he faced our ancient foe. Not many had greeted him that day, for few had seen him go. But when his riddled body came to rest among his own, there were thousands there to welcome back Sean South from Garryowen. The wee ones in Fermanagh homes are asking where you've gone. Where is the red-head soldier boy who spoke our Gaelic tongue? He drew for us by the fireside, and he spoke of pierced and tone. Oh mother, will we meet again, Sean South from Garryowen? Sean Agra, you're resting now with Ireland's noble dead, while Ulster's fields are crimson with the blood you gladly shed. May God, who reigns in heaven high, take you to his kingly throne, and may Irishmen remember well, Sean South from Garryowen. The Irishmen remember well, Sean South from Garryowen.
There we go. Sort of Mick Chimford there, Mick. Yoo-hoo! Mick. You know what's as we saying. So yeah, there's a ballad of Sean South from Mick's album there called 12 Dead Good Songs. So you can check it out, folks, on Spotify. It's a great album, so it is. So fair play to you, Mick. So I know he's watching in today, so I told him I'll give a wee shout out and play one of his songs for him. Right, back to a few comments, see who we'll have listening in. Marty says, yep, 5 hours of good crack and row, half cut with some crack. Well, half cut with a serious toothache. It's literally the last 3 days, I don't know how many boxes of Nurofen I went through, but they seem to be doing the trick anyway, so do. Paul, what is the crack? How you doing? Paul Sheeran, they're from Clover. Hello, row on the road to Cork, taking the boys to see Manchester United legends up Limerick for the Munster final on the boys in green. Man, you hear it, Paul. Jesus, I had a lot more respect for you. For God's sake, you've definitely done my estimations. Nah. Yeah, so big up, shout out to all the Paul and all those boys who are heading to Cork City today. Terry Cranley, what is the crack, Terry? How's you? Listen, Terry's just sent us a wee picture in there. She's over the day watching the show in Blantyre, so she is. So here we go. Sunny Blantyre today, so well done, Terry. Looking forward to having you on today. So cheers for tuning in this afternoon. Folks, anybody else, if you're watching the show today with a beer or whatever, chilling out, send us a wee photograph through via my own Facebook or the podcast Facebook, and we'll get it on the screen. So well. So yep, happy day, Terry. Who else do we have on here? Let's see. Lynn Anderson says, sorry, Lynn Houston. I'm going to start calling you Lynn Rose Garden. So well said, Ro. Afternoon. Hope you're keeping well. Elaine, how you doing? Hope you're keeping me better. Hello, everyone from sunny Belfast. Have a good one. Kieran Max says, is it too early for a pint? Well, you can have as many pints as you want, but the only pints I'll be having is this here, a pint of ice cold water. I had enough for him Friday to do me. Jim McCaff says, cracking version row. Yes, it definitely is indeed. James Davin McLeod, what's the crack, James? How you doing on Facebook today? Dirty Cardwell. Celine says, Friday was great. Laura's actually in Ballycastle, Celine, over the weekend. She says she was talking to your man, Dad, in the bar. I think you must have been away home and all when you bumped into them. She was. Paul Griffin, hello. Can I play Roddy McCorley? How you doing, Maura Burns? What's the crack? Keith Corcoran, what's happening, mate? Hello, Ro. Love the new fresh look, mate. Just seen your nice fresh cut this morning. Looking swanky, I have to say. See, Derek says, Jesus, not going to Patters again. Missed all the fun. You did, mate. Well, you see, that's what happens. You go out in the beer. But listen, it was a great show. I've seen a few of Shabeen's live videos, and fair play to him. Fair play to Aidan Brown for getting them over for 2 nights. Dan Breen, hail everyone today. John C. McElhenney, hey Ro, hail. Sorry, missed Friday night. What's the bit on catch up? Sound great. Cheers, mate. Aidan Corkery, watching on Facebook. Afternoon, but 18 Brits, not today, mate. Definitely not today. We made an exception the other night because it was the anti-royal, anti-jubilee show, but that was the exception, so I won't be getting played today, unfortunately. Right, what are we going to do? So listen, we played a couple of songs the other night there on Friday. There's a few anniversaries of certain volunteers were taking place. So maybe we'll play them again today, obviously, because it still is pretty raw in a lot of people's memories. So listen, we'll do this here. Lynn says, awesome, Ro. You can call me Lynn Rose Garden or Lynn Anderson as long as you play Emer's Ireland Longs to Be Free. Paul, let's see, says, well, I'm only the driver. I'll be shouting for Cork City, but my 2 lads are mad Celtic and Man United fans. Well, that's not too bad then. Right, so here we go. We're going to do the first song of the day, and it's going to be obviously in memory of oh, lost my buddy train of thought there. So we're going to do this here one, obviously in memory of Michael Gaughan, the one of the hunger strikers, died in Parkhurst Prison in England. Obviously, he was being force fed, and the story is that obviously the last time that they tried to force feed him, one of the tubes that they put through him punctured a lung or one of his organs, and that's what it was that killed him. But looking obviously over the weekend there, a lot of pictures of different of his funeral and videos. Massive crowds come out to show their support for Michael Gahan. So we'll go to this one here, the brilliant Take Me Home to Mayo, the song all about Michael Gahan here. So we're going to do it from Kathleen Largy, the same version we played the other night. I don't think there's another version of Take Me Home to Mayo you can play. This is just the version that you play. So we'll go. This is the first tune of the 3 remembrance songs we're going to play today over the course of the show. So this is Michael Gahan's song Take Me Home to Mayo from Kathleen Largy, folks, on Rebel Sundays.
Take me home to Mayo, across the Irish Sea, home again to Mayo, where once I roamed so free. Take me home to Mayo, and let my body lie, home at last in Mayo, beneath an Irish sky. My name is Michael Gahan, from Ballina I came. I saw my people suffering and swore to break their chains. I raised the flag in England, prepared to fight or die. Far away from Mayo, beneath an Irish sky. Take me home to Mayo, across the Irish Sea, home again to Mayo, where once I roamed so free. Take me home to Mayo, and let my body lie, home at last in Mayo, beneath an Irish sky. My body cold and hungry, in Parkhurst jail I lie, for loving of my country, on hunger strike I die. I have but one last longing, I'm sure you'll not deny. Bury me in Mayo, beneath an Irish sky. Take me home to Mayo, across the Irish Sea, home again to Mayo, where once I roamed so free. Take me home to Mayo, and let my body lie, home at last in Mayo, beneath an Irish sky. Home at last in Mayo, beneath an Irish sky.
Yes, Take Me Home to Mayo there for you from Kathleen Largy in the Flying Column. Of course, in memory there of Michael Gahan, whose anniversary fell on the 3rd of June there, folks. He died in a British prison while on hunger strike, so he did, at the hands of the prison guards that in the end it came to his death. So it was, folks. This is Rebel Sundays on the Rebel podcast. Listen, cheers to all the extra people who's listening today from TikTok. We've been building up a good following over the last month or two. So if any are on TikTok, folks, I'm putting content out all the time. So here is the link to it. Well, not the link. It's my username, so you can search for this here. I'm sure you'll probably have seen some of the videos we put up. We're having a bit of banter back and forth with the cream buns, but it's all a bit of crack, so it is. Yeah, if any are on TikTok want to jump on the page, please do. We'll get a few more subscribers, so it's Big Row WB79. Just like the page for us, it would be much appreciated. Right, 1 second, what are we doing? There we go, back onto the screen. Right, a few more people listening. Let's see what we'll have comments going. Maura Burns, our great song. How you doing, Maura? Richard O'Callaghan, remember that so well. Sad days. Marty, you followed me. Jeez, I'll have to look now for your. What's your name on TikTok? I'll have a look now. So well. Perverse Paradise, is it? Terry says, I'm not speaking to you, Ro. You never played my song on Friday. Well, what song did you ask me for on Friday? I cannot remember now. Jesus. Can't remember much about Friday, to be honest. Neil Costigan, good morning, Ro Watson from Cornwall, New York today. Great crack on Friday. Good man for tuning in. Jim McCaff says 5 hours of drinking, still down. Yeah, folks, loads of people are still obviously talking about the show on Friday night. It was great crack. I say, basically, because some people saying, "Oh, it's just going to be a regular thing." Definitely not. It was obviously just because I was sort of at a loose end. Laura was away for the weekend with the kids in the caravan, and sort of I would have been just sitting in the house anyway. Plus, with just this whole Jubilee crap going on, the main stuff. I know it was getting on a lot of people's wicks. So I sort of said, listen, we'll do a wee live stream. I was only planning maybe to do 8 to 10 or 8 to 11. Ended up playing 8 to 1 o'clock in the morning. So, yeah, it was great crack. So, also, cheers to all of you for tuning in. And everyone as well, give us a wee donation on the show on it. You're all legend. Thank you. Right, so, I say another song we'll play there on Friday. Obviously, talking about the anniversaries of the guys. This was another, obviously, anniversary of these three boys, very much in people's minds. On the 3rd of June 1981, an ambush took place at a bridge in Cook. Volunteers Tony Doris, Lawrence McNally and Pete Ryan were, I'm going to say, brutally murdered by the SAS. That's an understatement. What the armed forces or state forces, to say, done to these three guys was just appalling. So it was, when you look at the state of the car they were in at the end of the ambush, was just like it just beggars belief how they got away with that there, you know. So yeah, their anniversary took place there on Friday as well, the 3rd of June. So we're going to do a song for them three lads and I. So are this song, we'll say it's not a song, right? It's a poem. Was recorded by the Irish Brigade. The poem was called "Ambush at the Bridge." And again, Jerry Glackman just does this so well. You can hear the emotion in his voice when he's sort of singing this poem. So this is the next song we're going to do today, in memory of volunteers Tony Doris, Lawrence McNally and Pete Ryan of the East Tyrone Brigade of the IRA, who say were brutally ambushed and murdered by the SAS on the 3rd of June 1981 in Cook. So this is a song / poem called "Ambush at the Bridge" from the Irish Brigade.
Come listen, all you Irishmen, as a story I relate. I'll tell you of 3 martyrs and relive to you their fate. For on a bridge that borders County Derry and Tyrone, there took place a massacre the likes we've never known. It was on a Monday morning, it was the 3rd of June. The year was 1991, the time 5 hours from noon. Lawrence McNally, Michael Ryan and Tony Doris were the 3. It was their life's ambition to set their country free. But as they approached that village that was their blood to soak, they were outnumbered 10 to 1 in that planter's den called Coke. These men they fought so bravely, oh this it's safe to say, for these were gallant soldiers of the Provisional IRA. Those murdering English soldiers must one day be made to pay, for they burned those rebel corpses while in the village square they lay. Lawrence McNally and Michael Ryan, they were natives of Arboe. Tony Doris from Coal Island, they did not fear the foe. The people of Ballinderry, Moortown and off Arboe should not be a wondering why these men to Coke did go. for they could not stand idly by while their people were shot dead, and they hoped that by their actions we could live in peace instead. Who could forget Pete Ryan, his memory imprinted on our mind? You'll search in any county a soldier like this to find. For he fought them in the valley, among the hills and in the dales, and he fought them in the city street when he escaped from Crumlin jail. Lawrence McNally came from Annaghmore. His age was 38. I bet that he was smiling on the day he met his fate. From Lough Neagh to the border, his exploits were of renown. He was loved by his own people and hated by the crown. Tony Doris from Colisland was the youngest of the three. It was a boyhood yearning to see his country free. It was part of Tony's rearing, oppression to the test. He was a fearless soldier. Tony was the best. The sad story now is ending, but one question still remains. And until we find the answer, these men have died in vain. For suspicion now it hovers like a cloud of dark and gloom. Was it plans foretold for Judas gold sent these men to their doom?
Yeah, son of the Irish we get there, folks. Excellent work there as always from Jerry Glecken. Just I'll just keep this picture up for a wee second, folks. I mean, let's say read up on this here, of what happened to these volunteers. It was just shocking, absolutely shocking. Like the fate of these guys, what happened to them in the end, like was say brutal, was definitely an understatement. So yeah, that was on the 3rd of June. Freddie Pastor, folks. 1981 was the anniversary of volunteers Tony Doris, Lawrence McNally, and Pete Ryan from the East Tyrone Brigade. Right, so loads more requests coming in, folks. Get them in. Say coming up at about between 2:15 and 2:30. We're going to have Stefan live in the show. Hopefully we'll get him on the screen. I think he thought he was coming up to the studio, so he was, when I was talking to him last night, he's like, oh, no, we're not doing that anymore. Basically, the way I have the studio set up now, it's just for me only, you know. A bit more room in the place, but it means it's only set up for one sort of, one person. It means, obviously, then I can do all the interviews, like, sort of Zoom link now, or what I'm doing. So, I think everybody agrees it definitely works out a wee bit better for us. Right, so back to the comments and see what we'll have in here. Let's see. Marty says, I knew Lawrence's brother, Francis. He was an Irish drafts champion. Used to own a wee bar cafe between Toome and Ballachy up the road from the Elk. Michael Turner, what's the crack? Walking along the beats in sunny Worthing today, mate. I'm sure it is sunny today at our weather. For a play, mate. They've tuned in. Joseph McGuy says, I mind that day, the burned out cars sticks in my memory. Yeah, terrible, mate. Yep, everybody's saying more the same thing here. And Dave O'Leary, great stuff, listening loud and proud in London. Thank you very much, Dave. That looks like a new listener as well, or a new name, so it is. Cheers for tuning in. Right, what do we have? We're going to, right, so somebody asked me to play the other night. This actually made him in the song Terry asked for, I'm not sure. Looking for Bick McFarlane, Terrorist or Dreamer. And I didn't get a chance. It was towards the end of the show, and it didn't clear in my head. But the song lasts about 7 minutes. Well, actually, it does last 7 minutes dead on. So I didn't have time to play it. So we'll do it now. So this is Bick McFarlane's Terrorist or Dreamer. And I say, whenever we're doing this tune, in my mind, I always think about Bobby's story. So I do. Can't help not thinking about Bobby when you hear Bick singing the words of this song. Obviously, Bobby was a comrade of Bick's as well, so he was two very, very good friends. So, right here we go. So the next tune today on Rebel Sundays, folks. This is Brett and Bick McFarlane with Terrorist or Dreamer.
Sackville Street, the curfew drove the restless at his side. The black and tans marched up and down, the moon shone cold and bright. The shot was like a whip crack, pulled the first man off his feet. He died on bloody cobblestones while his comrades combed the street. They called up reinforcements, pulled the people from their beds. They were screaming, "Get the bastard!" but its fear was in their heads. Found him in a cellar, he was only 17, fighting for his country, dying for green. The sergeant dragged him by the hair and beat him to the ground. Into this young man's body he emptied every round. Come out and take a look, he cried, as he marched his troops away. They went in stony silence, such a price to have to pay. Some knelt and prayed beside him, but it's too late anyhow. They said he was a rebel then, he's a hero now. In '66 this country sang the praises of the dead. We didn't call them rebels then, we used patriot instead. On every household TV screen we saw how hard they fought, how they spilled their life's blood, how freedom had been bought. The garden gates were opened up to silent motorcades. Cannons boomed and flags unfurled, solemn wreaths were laid. Prayers for those departed were called for loud and clear. For those who had been outlawed, but that was another year. Veterans lined up Stefan proud, their white hair ruled the wind, with their pride pinned to their gabardines, the thoughts upon their friends, and bitter wounds burst open, the scars of history went flying into our faces in stark reality. Just up the road from Sackville Street, but things are different now. They said he was a rebel then, he's a hero now. Along the Falls Road soldiers push their glances left and right. Kids of the English working class, soldiers overnight, tossed into the melting pot of bloody war and strife, never understanding and fearing for their lives. Outside the Glen Road Brewery, oh, the bomb takes two away. The bomber's work is over, he's finished for the day. The terrorist or the dreamer, or the savage or the brave. It depends whose vote you're trying to catch, whose face you're trying to save. There's tea and cakes in Downing Street, there's whispers in the hall. Let's move the Curo di show, now our backs are to the wall. There's panic down in Leinster House, where words are seldom scarce. Send someone to Glasnevin quick to remember Patrick Pearse. Once more his crucifixion, it seems a lie somehow. They said he was a rebel then, he's a hero now. Once more his crucifixion, well, it seems a lie somehow. They said he was a rebel then, he's a hero now. He's a hero now.
There we go. Sound of Bick McFarlane if you folks with Terrorist or Dreamer, especially for Terry at one. Let's see. Better late than never. So here, is that the song you asked for? Or I can't remember. I just assumed that's what it was. Carl Lamb McCrory, how you doing? Carl Lamb, that's on YouTube today. Afternoon Trips. Let's see. Jason Rochford says a powerful song, love it. Paul, what a song, Bick, just class. Somebody, he said a jump. Well, I think it was just the connection there. Nothing wrong with the song itself. I think it's just the connection from the internet. It jumped a wee bit. Joseph McGuy said, love this tune, especially the lane past the Glen Road Brewery. Used to jog past it every night in the mid-80s. That was it. When it was the brewery, I used to remember. So I used to go to La Salle Junior School beside the Glen Road Brewery there, and it was like, it was disgusting. See the smell of the hops, and it was like at the same time every day. Literally when we went out for lunchtime, sure you went out to play football or whatever, or in the field, and just the smell, and obviously the wind was blowing it across into the field. It was rank. So it was like, and I was never as glad to see the place closed down when they started brewing all the stuff over in Well Park in Glasgow instead of in the Glen Road instead. Let's see. Dale was putting the row on the podcast on Wine and Patters, one of the best of both worlds. Here's a few requests. Let's see. He's looking for Pro's Lullaby or Sniper's Promise or Song for Marcella. Right, that's okay, no problem. We'll try and get at least one of them on this afternoon. Right, so Paul Sheeran asked for a wee request. He was looking for a song originally written by Richie from Dreams of Freedom. When he first, I was looking for DOF. I said, what the hell's DOF? I said, no, who sings that song? Who's DOF? Obviously DOF, DOF, Dreams of Freedom. Duh. So you're going to do it now. It's a great original song written by Richie. It's obviously all about the 81 hunger strikes written for the 40th anniversary last year. So this is the next tune of the day. This is Dreams of Freedom with their original song, Ireland's Martyrs of 81.
To break us they tried, but took us for fools. No brave volunteer would follow their rules. We fought till the end, our belief was so strong. We want a free Ireland where the Brits don't belong. 40 years have passed now since those brave young men stood up for their rights, the heroic Allen 10. Not even the cruelty they endured through that living hell could deter them from their cause in that H-block cell. Bobby Sands from Belfast, a rebel to the core. Your name we will remember and cherish forevermore. Francis Hughes of Balahi, fearless against the crown. With your fight for Irish freedom, you never left us down. Those brave young men of 81, honoured to be free. Ireland's gallant soldiers gone down in history. A gallant Ray McCreesh from South Armagh came he. As clever a soldier there was to evade the enemy. Patsy O'Hara, brave and bold, from the heart of Free town. Known for his resilience, they failed to break him down. Joe MacDonald from the Falls Road, a brave soldier was he, standing by his comrade, showing faith and loyalty. Martin Harrison was a member of the East Tyrone Brigade, courageous till the end, his defiance never swayed. Those brave young men of 81, hungered to be free. Ireland's gallant soldiers come down in history. Kevin Lynch of Dungiven, from a sporting family, to gain political status, their demands were priority. Kieran Doherty from Belfast, fighting for the prisoners' cause, with courage and with bravery to suppress cruel England's laws. Balahi's Thomas McElwee was the youngest of the 10. His unwavering determination will we ever see again. Mikey Devine from Freederry, the last man to die, a rebel proud and true, and nobody can deny. Those brave young men of 81, honoured to be free. Ireland's gallant soldiers come down in history. Thatcher tried to quench the flame for our right to be free, but British justice is all it was, now all the world can see. Prisoners of war is what we were, and that's no shame to say. We fought for our rights and integrity, and that's our legacy today. Those brave young men of 81, hungered to be free. Ireland's gallant soldiers gone down in history. Those brave young men of 81, hungered to be free. Ireland's gallant soldiers gone down in history.
There we go. Sound of Ireland's Martyrs of 81 from Dreams of Freedom. It's for Paul Sheeran, that one, who's heading to Cork City today to watch the English game. Man U Legends against Cork City, is it? Playing. Right, let's see. Jason Radford says, I think I'll be coming every Sunday. Big Row, pure class, mate. Thank you very much, mate. Much appreciated. Cheers for the support. Let's see. Ray Callahan. I went to school beside the Guinness Brewery in Dublin. Yep, they smell the same. It's just whatever it is, the hops or something. Whatever it is, just like, not my favourite smell. Joseph says, I mind the smell, loved it. That's I blame for getting me on the drink. Well, yeah, probably could be. So it could be. Who sent me here a message? Right, what are we going to do next? We'll have a couple of songs here lined up, folks. If you have any requests, any tunes you want to hear, any ones I'm making that got on there on Friday, let me know. Just put in the comments. We're here at 4 o'clock today, so loads of time. But I say, coming up at about 2:15, we're going to have Stefan live on the show. Obviously, this isn't the first time we've had him on, so it isn't. Obviously, I done a audio podcast with him and young Dan as well. It was recorded actually up in my house there a few years ago. What was that? What was the subject? I think it was basically about all our sort of favourite Rebel songs and Rebel albums. It's a really, really good interview. It's in 2 parts. So there's on Spotify if you want, or sorry, on Spotify on what? I can't even remember now what my audio podcasts are on. It's not long for me to uploaded one. SoundCloud, they're on SoundCloud, so they are. And then, obviously, we had him on the Wednesday night show whenever we were doing the Wednesdays. Obviously, the Sundays cut off for a while, and we were doing the Wednesday night show it was mid last year or a year before. But I was looking back on YouTube, and that their interview isn't there. So, for some reason, I can't remember why it didn't upload or we didn't record it or whatever happened. I'm not sure. It might have been only on Facebook, actually, then, so it wasn't on YouTube. That's why we couldn't find it. So, yep. Stefan, since them interviews, he's done a lot of work, so he has done lots of gigs, lots of things, lots of doors opened up for him. So we're going to have him on today, and we've a lot more stuff to talk about. So I think whenever we put out the post asking for people's views on the guests for the coming weeks, I think his name must have popped up about 10, 12 times. People were saying, get Stefan on. So I texted him last week, and he's, yep, brilliant, no problem, mate, be proud to come on. So yep, we're going to have him on at about between 2:15 and 2:30. So we're going to play 3 songs from him. We're going to play 2 songs that he sort of recorded roughly from his own studio, and then 1 song at the end of the interview from his brand new album, Rebel Heart, that's going to be released hopefully very, very soon. So right, next tune we're going to do a song that featured on my album, the Rebs for Hope. This is one that was originally written by Mickey and Maura McNally. It was recorded originally by the Irish Brigade, but the version I'm going to do here is from Misa Era, which is the new band now that Mickey plays in. So it is. So obviously he's singing this song. His voice just suits this song so well. Obviously him and his missus did write the song. So this is a tune called "The Streets of Gibraltar." Of course, atrocity that we will never ever forget. And again, if you watch, go on to my channel on YouTube, there's an interview I done with Joe Austin. If any of you are aware of Joe was basically the guy that was tasked to go over to Gibraltar to bring the bodies of Dan McCann, Sean Savage and Ray Farrell home back to Ireland. And what an interview. Obviously Joe sits and tells the whole story of when they first died, how he got over there, but bringing them home, and obviously about being attacked, getting back to Belfast, the RUC stealing the bodies. It's a really, really deep interview, folks. So if you want to look for it, it's on my YouTube channel. Joe was actually up in the studio, so he was, and we sat down and talked about the whole bringing them home on the anniversary of Gibraltar. So yeah, that's worth an hour listen if anyone want to listen to it. So here we go. This is the next song of the day. This is The Streets of Gibraltar on Rebel Sundays from Misa Era.
They flew out of Belfast with an ambitious plan to continue the struggle to free Ireland. Mairead Farrell, Sean Savage and Daniel McCann, but they died on the streets of Gibraltar. In a night I'd been watching that followed each one. They knew they weren't armed, that none had a gun. We'll give them no warning or no chance to run, for we must die on Gibraltar. And sad are 3 homes in Belfast now. All Ireland shares their sorrow as they walked in the sun hidden Brits through their guns, and their blood stained the streets of Gibraltar. The SAS stood there, so proud of their deed. 3 more freedom fighters lay dead in the street, like the 8 block of martyrs in ambush at me. But our 3 far away in Gibraltar, and sad our 3 homes in Belfast now. All Ireland shares their sorrow as they walked in the sun, hidden Brits through their guns, and their blood stained the streets of Gibraltar. Married while in prison, we watched you with pride. To all you believed in, and for this you died. With 2 fine volunteers, Dan and Sean at your side. A part of us died in Gibraltar, and sad our 3 homes in Belfast now. All Ireland shares their sorrow as they walked in the sun, hidden Brits through their guns, and their blood stained the streets of Gibraltar. It happens each time that a volunteer dies. They screen up the truth with a cover of lies, but we know what happened, although it's denied. They planned the 3 deaths on Gibraltar, and sad our 3 homes in Belfast now. All Ireland shares their sorrow as they walked in the sun, hidden Brits through their guns, and their blood stained the streets of Gibraltar, and their blood stained the streets of Gibraltar.
Yeah, it's the sound there of Misa Era, folks, with the Streets of Gibraltar. That was a song originally written by Mickey and Maura McNally. The song obviously was originally recorded by the Irish Brigade. That version there is the one that features on my album, Rebs for Hope. An album we released there a while ago. Obviously, all the money went towards 2 suicide charities here in Belfast. Pips over in the North Belfast, and obviously the Suicide Awareness and Support Centre on the Falls Road in West Belfast. 2 very, very worthy causes. And I'm just glad so many has bought the CD and the album to go towards to give them a few quid each. Right, back to a few comments. See what we have, folks. It is, what time is it now? 10 to 2, so about another 20 minutes we're hopefully going to get Stefan on the show. Well, let's see, Martin said there's something with Mickey's voice. What a singer, definitely, yep, indeed. Dirty, you're very good, Jim McCaff. Class, love this song. Jason saying, well, another cover up, well, yeah, that's one way of putting it. So it is. Anthony Murphy watching on YouTube, Facebook. Ro, can you please play one of my favourite songs, Young Ned of the Hill? Great show, by the way. Good luck. Actually, I didn't know the Rebel Hearts recorded this song. I found it on one of their albums the other night, so I might actually play their version of this here for you later on, mate. So I might. Now, folks, I briefly mentioned this here on Friday, there, so did. But obviously over the weekend, more and more seems to be coming out over the woodwork about this whole thing. I don't know if you guys know about the Michaela McAreevy thing. So there's a video that was recorded last Saturday at obviously apparently in a really well-known orange hall up the country somewhere, and a load of individuals were singing a song obviously about Michaela McAreevy and John McAreevy, obviously just aimed that because who she was, her father and her husband were two very prominent obviously GAA sports people, and she was murdered on her honeymoon in the Mauritius, and obviously still to this day there's nobody been charged with her murder, and they obviously made a song up about her, and this wasn't like a spur of the moment thing. I listened to a really great interview this morning from Joe Bradley, and I shared it, so we did, on my Facebook pages and Twitter and stuff, and he hit the nail on the head the way he was speaking. I mean, his whole thing was, listen, this wasn't an isolated incident. Obviously this song has been sung many times before, so it has. These guys all knew the words of it. They were clapping along. It wasn't like they were. I mean, it was just made up. They have sung this song many times in their bars and their buses, whatever, and stuff. And there's so much condemnation now. So there is. And basically, Joe's point was, yeah, it's only wrong to do something like this here whenever you're caught, but whenever you're not caught, it's quite fine and dandy to sing something like this here. And listen, I'm just going to play the video in case if any hasn't seen it. So this here was actually put up on TikTok by somebody, and just watch it. I know a lot of the people that's in the video have been, obviously their names have been straight all over Facebook. Some people have been sacked from their jobs already, and rightly so. Other people have come out apologising about it. Other people have come out condemning it from the loyalists and unionist community. But we're going to play the video now. It's only a few seconds long, but just listen to this, folks. When I heard a statement the other night from Jamie Bryson, of all people, he came out and says, look, yes, this video it's a disgrace, blah, 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 but this doesn't show a true reflection of our community. And my whole point was, balls, it's totally opposite. It exactly shows the true reflection of your community whenever this is the kind of behaviour they get up to.
Orange Order hates Catholics so much it sings about the murder of a Catholic girl on her honeymoon.
Shocking, folks, like, and it's wild. And I say that was the point. I mean, these guys obviously they've sung this song many times before. It wasn't a case of just they just recorded it. They just learned it last week. Balls. I mean, it's just a beggar's belief that obviously people can sing songs about the war and atrocities that happen and stuff, whatever, and like songs that have been written. But I mean, Michaela McAreevy was just an innocent young woman. I mean. And obviously she wasn't murdered for being a Catholic. She was obviously murdered over her honeymoon by just some absolutely head case. But the way these boys are putting this out is that they're making a song up mocking her murder because she is a young Catholic woman, and because of who her father and her husband was. And the calling out that's been done over Twitter over the last few days. I think nearly every night it's been named and shamed. Anybody that's involved have deleted their Facebook, their Instagrams, Twitters, everything, because they know what they've done now. I mean, sorry, sitting there in an orange hall, all drunk and having the best of crack. But then this here's all your names all been plastered all over the internet. It's not so much fun, is it? You know. So yeah, we're just going to obviously today over until this is sort of sorted. Our thoughts are definitely with John McAreevy and Michaela's father, Mickey Hart, and the rest of the family as well. I mean, of this young woman here, Michaela McAreevy, absolutely scandalous. I think there's no anybody that wasn't annoyed by obviously what we watched there over the weekend. So yeah, right, back to, let's see. Joseph Pierce says, scumbags, a lot of them. Jim McCaff, Jesus Christ, how low will go makes you bitter. Martin is saying, I said, what's the Orange Order going to do? Ban mobile phones from recording of functions so they don't get caught sprouting their hate-filled bile. But actually, somebody uploaded something the other day. So it was obviously a screenshot of somebody's phone, and it was a wee obviously flyer made up. A lot of people get sent around, and I'm going to actually try and find it here. I'll put it up on the screen. And it said, what happens in the halls stays in the halls. And this goes for the buses as well. Don't be an idiot and record anything that happens in the halls, and put it all over social media. So basically they're saying there is you can sing and shout what you want, but just don't record it so we can get caught out, It's just disgusting. So a good few of them are from Macarafelt. Yeah, that's what it seems like, so it is. Right, so what do we have lined up next? Do I have another song lined up next? Let's see. What song we're going to do? Hold on a second. I have one other lined up. I'm going to play. But the screen disappeared. Yes, so PJ sent me a message yesterday. The song was going to play was on the screen here, but it timed out. So it was, he had sent me a message, asked me to play a song for him, and he was looking for the Lurgan Ambush song. It doesn't get played enough, so obviously a guy we're going to go have on the show in a few weeks, a guy from Lurgan, Bo Lochran, recorded this song. It's on his album, Bo Lochran, the Scullery Sessions, the most requested songs. So Bo is going to be on the show in July sometime, so we'll advertise that there before he's coming on. So Bo will have a great story to tell. He's a phenomenal musician, so looking forward to having him on. So this is for PJ, one. So he was looking for the Lurgan Ambush. So here we go. This is Rebel Sundays, folks, on the Rebel podcast.
Lurgan town was rocked with sorrow on that bleak November's day. Harsh tones and tears were mingled as great numbers stopped to pray for Sean Burns and Eugene Toman and their driver Jervis McCure, who had just been brutally murdered in an ambush well prepared. Suspect of being Irishmen with no love for the crown, heedless of the age-old cry, you croppy boys lie down. They would not lick those British boots of Ireland, they were proud. Though harassed and of browbeaten, they just would not lie down. And they dared to hold their heads up high, and never once did fail to declare their wish for freedom, like true sons of the Gale. Defied the hearts of evil men who hungered for revenge. And on that bleak November's day, the three lads were well laid, snared and slain by evil men, the forces of the crown. They had dared to flout the order of you croppy boys, lie down. As years go rolling by, my friends, this tale remember well. We owe it to our children, we owe it to our ourselves. We owe it to these young men who rallied one and all, and be proud that we are Irish, for they cannot kill us all. And they dare to hold their heads up high, and never once did fail to declare their wish for freedom, like true sons of the Gael. Now three lie in a soldier's grave in a churchyard near the town. And if you ever pass this way, don't let your heads bow down. Turn your heads up heavenwards and say a silent prayer for Sean Burns and Eugene Toman and their driver Jervis McCarr.
There we go. Sort of Bo Lochran there for you folks with the Lurgan Ambush, especially for PJ who asked that one. This is Rebel Sundays on the Rebel podcast. I'll just get myself back on screen. There we go. Right. So we're going to play one more song, then we'll get the first song on from Stefan. So let's see who was asking for this one. Let's see, Anthony says, yeah, Ro, good man for highlighting this on your show. They're a disgrace. Get them in court. Irish, that's a new name, or is it? Let's see. Will we play Daughters and Your Daughters and Your Sons by Conor Kelly? I think that's on his album. It's on Spotify. I'll have a look at that as well. Maybe just remind me again, will you? Once we'll get the interview out of the way, and I'll have a look, see if I can play it for you. Jim McCaff is looking for Cruncher, the People's Own MP. Just talking about Cruncher, obviously I haven't heard of him yet, how he's doing. Hopefully he's out of hospital and feeling a bit better, because he wasn't doing too well there, so he wasn't. So yeah, we'll do this one here for Jim. This was a few. So we'll do this song, and then we're going to go ahead with the first song from Stefan, then we'll get him on the screen. So this is Cruncher, folks, with the People's Own MP on Rebel Sundays for Jim McCaff, who's asked for it. Here we go.
How many more must die now? How many must we lose until the island people their own destiny can choose? From immortal Robert Emmett to Bobby Sands MP, who was given 30,000 votes while in captivity. He was a poet and a soldier. He died courageously, and we give him 30,000 votes while in captivity. Thomas Ice, he gave everything in 1917. The Lord Mayor of Cork, McSweeney, died for his freedom to obtain. Never one of all our dead died more courageously than young Bobby Sands from Twinbrook, the People's Own MP. He was a poet and a soldier. He died courageously, and we give him 30,000 votes while in captivity. like sweet notes upon the Ulster air. I gaze upon the snowflake pure, for he calm his deep despair. Before he went on hunger strike, young Bobby did compose the rhythm of time, the weeping winds and the sleeping rose. He was a poet and a soldier. He died courageously, and we give him 30,000 votes while in captivity. Forever we'll remember him, the man who died in pain, that his country north and south might be united once again. To mourn him is to organize and build the movement strong, with ballad box and arm alliance and with music and with song. He was a poet and a soldier. He died courageously, and we give him 30,000 votes while in captivity. Oh, a poet and a soldier, and died courageously, and we give him 30,000 votes while in captivity.
Yeah, so the main man there, folks, Terry Cruncher O'Neill with the People's Own MP. And again, just sending Cruncher and his family our best wishes. Hopefully he pulls through this latest bout of illness that he has. Let's see. Jim McCaff says, yeah, Row legend. Thanks, my man. Was talking to my aunt, said he was in 8 N Beer Park Hospital. Get well soon. James Devin McClave, Stefan singing H-Block song is one of the most powerful versions of the song ever sang. Just pure class. Yes, we're going to be playing that today, mate, as part of the interview. So definitely, it's a great version of the song. Joseph are saying, love this tune. Listen to the words, pure class. Terry Craney. Rebel Sunday, please, Ro. Can't remember who sings it. I wonder who sings that song. Rebel Sunday? Who? I don't know. Never heard that one before. Rebel Sunday. Not sure. Right. So we're going to play the first song, and then hopefully by the time it's finished, Stefan will have worked out how to open Google Chrome, and we'll have him on the screen with a bit of luck. Fingers crossed. Well, yeah. Here's the first song from Stefan, folks. We're going to do his version. Play this here on the show your night on Friday as well. I love this. It's a really well recorded song. So this tune obviously was originally written and recorded by Christy Moore. It's a song called 90 Miles to Dublin. Brilliant song. When I done my interview with Cruncher, he was telling me about this is the sort of song that I'll mention this to Stephen. This is the song that made him want to really go and record and sing rebel stuff like for a living, you know. He went down to Dublin, and Christy Moore was playing, and he was selling this here on like I'm not sure if it was vinyls, and he bought one, and he said he just kept playing it in the house until he learnt the song. So he did. So there you go. There's a bit of information for you. So this is the first song from Stefan, folks, and then we'll get him on the screen for today's guest interview. And this is Stefan of West Belfast, folks, with 90 Miles to Dublin town.
I'm 90 miles from Dublin town. I'm in a H-block cell. To help you understand my plight, the story now I'll tell. I'm on the blanket protest. Oh, my efforts must not fail. For I'm joined by men and women in Clonkesh and Armagh jail. It all began one morning. I was dragged to Castlereagh. And though it was 3 years ago, it seemed like yesterday. For 3 days kicked and beaten, I then was forced to sign confessions that convicted me of deeds that were not mine. Sentenced in at Diblock Court, my protest soon began. I could not wear their prison gear, I was a blanket man. I'll not accept their status, no, I'll not be criminalized. That's the issue in the blocks for which we give our lives. But over there in London town, oh how they laugh and sneer. If they could only make us wear their loathsome prison gear. Prisoners of war is what we are, oh that we must remain. The blanket protest cannot end till status we regain. I've been beaten round the romper room because I won't say sir. I've been frog marched down to London, then dragged back by the hair. I've suffered degradation, humility and pain. Still the spirit does not falter, British torture is vain. I've been held in scalding water while my back with deck scrubs was tore. I've been scratched and cut from head to foot, then thrown out on the floor. I've suffered mirror searches, been probed by drunken bears. Oh, I've heard my comrades cry and scream, then utter useless prayers. Now with the news that's coming in, my protest cannot fail. Oh, now we're joined by 30 girls in Armagh women's jail. So pay attention, Irishmen, oh, Irish women too. We'll show the Free State government that their silence will not do. Though I'm 90 miles from Dublin town, it seems so far away. There's more attention to my plight in the USA. Well, now you've heard my story of this filthy living hell. Remember 90 miles away, I'm still in a H-block cell. Oh, remember 90 miles away, I'm still in a H-block cell.
There we go, folks. Sort of Stefan Nerf here with 90 miles to Dublin. Phenomenal version there, so it is. So can you hear me, mate?
I can indeed, mate, yeah.
Brilliant. Oh, perfect. Perfect sound, mate. Great camera as well you have. Brilliant. Looks the part.
Just my
doesn't
phone.
It? What? Yeah, sweet.
Just my phone. I'm loving this new layout, bro. Had to say.
Yeah. Well, that's all the the donations are coming towards, we can branch out a wee bit so we can, So listen, welcome to the show, mate. Just down another fellow West Belfast, up around the corner from me here. So it's great to have you on. Obviously, Stephen, you've been on the show before a couple of times. We've done the interview up in my house with yourself and Dan. That was the audio one we've done. Obviously, then you were down in the studio as well. But I don't think that one was actually put on the YouTube, so we don't really have it there. So we'll basically go right back from the start for anybody that didn't see the original interview you done. So tell us, for you, where did this whole journey begin and start?
Well, I was playing with someone else at the very start. Some people know, some people won't, but that only lasted a couple of months. And then I took off and done my own. So I had, I started out in places like the Rock Bar, and to me, that's really where it started. My first ever residency was down around Baggots up at Twinbrook, where I'm from. But it wasn't until I done the Rock Bar that I really get noticed. At that time, Dabby's was a manager, and he was really great with social media. And I knew gigging in the Rock Bar would boost my sort of my online presence, So it was a great place to go. That's where everybody headed for Rebel Sundays, and so it was good. Everybody's found out who you were, and then, like I said, the Rock Bar were on the ball with their social media. And then from there it sort of
spiraled. Obviously, so towards like the rebel stuff, had you always sort of had like an interest in sort of republicanism before you started sort of singing these songs?
Well, before I was gigging, I was in like the flute bands and all when I was younger, like yourself. So whenever you're in a flute band, you always, like if I want to start way back, it's, as some people know, whenever my mother passed away last year, I was able to put out that she had been a volunteer for D Company, 2nd Battalion. So there was always that sentiment around the house. And then when I was young, I got involved with the flute bands, and so you go from thinking like you know you're a Republican, but it's not until you go to the commemorations and you learn about the volunteers and the sacrifice made, that you really understand why you're a Republican. There's a difference being brought up around it, and there's a difference between understanding, and it's so as you grow, like us all, as we get older, we start understanding why we are who we are. And then so from the commemorations to the songs, and that's what's so important about the songs, they keep a memory alive of the volunteers,
Definitely.
of the sacrifice, of the struggle.
Yeah, that's how I would always tell people. Well, maybe not so much now because the flute bands are sort of fading out a bit. But for me, like growing up, it played a major part in my sort of upbringing as being a Republican. And then you get to learn about who the volunteers were, what they've done, and what the songs are all about. So obviously, who would have been your early influences as regards like sort of singing sort of ballad and rebel songs?
Well, I'll say the two greatest. I don't want to put anyone. Like, I don't want to put anyone down or what, but everybody has their heroes,
Yeah.
And my two heroes had to be the Wolfhound, Ray McReevy, and Cruncher. It's just they shaped me. They shaped my sort of my love of rebel music. It's just, I'm not saying anyone else is bad, because you have the Irish Brigade that writes friggin' half the songs we sing at every gig. So Jerry Glatton's just has to be one of the, if not one of the best rebel writers. So he is in the Irish Brigade, one of the best rebel bands out there. But for me personally, had they been the Wolfhound and Cruncher, they're close to home. They're Belfast based, and it's just, and anyone listens to them, just the heart to sing with is just, it comes from first-hand experience from them. So it's amazing.
See, for anybody that might not have heard the first time you talked about this here, tell us about the story about the night the guy you met, Ray McReevy, and the Glen Owen.
Jesus, mate, no. Right. There's a smile in your face, you bastard. Right. So I was playing, it was a Paddy's Day. I think it was the year before lockdown, maybe the year before it. I was only on the road, and I'd never met Ray McReevy in my life. He's the lead singer of the Wolfhound. So I'm playing the Glen Owen. I think I'd already done a gig. I took 3 gigs that day, or 4. I think I might have actually took 4 gigs that day. But I remember I had to do the Glen Owen, my last 2 gigs a day was the Glenone and the Rock Bar, you know. And I land down to the Glenone and I'm already chin because I was gigging the night before and the night before that as well. And I land down and I'm talking to them. And I walk up and I say to Ray, I was like, Ray, you're a big hero of mine. And it's like, it's an honor to meet you. And I give it all that there. I was like, stand in front of a celebrity to me anyway. And he was like, he's very modest, an amazing man. But Rob McCulloch, who passed away there last year, he was playing the guitar for them. They went under the name Casey's Crew, and it was just it was class. And then so I was talking away to them, and all right, Rob, how are you? Talking away to them all, and then Ray gets up and he goes out. I think he goes out for a smoke, but he leaves the room anyway. So I'm talking to them, and they're like, "How you getting on, kid?" And I'm like, I'm shattered. So I was like, I was gigging last night and all, and then I'm only out of a gig there, I rushed to this gig, and then I've to leave and get to the Rock Bar, and then here's me. So, and we're talking away, and then, so it's like put to them. It's like, you know, if you take your time, like you're doing me a favor, because I can only stay here to 10 o'clock, 8 o'clock, whatever it was meant to be. And then Rob just looks at me and he just gives me a wink and he goes, "No sweat, kid." So they're like, they're wrapping up the gear, they wrap up a lead, they sit down, take a drink of their Guinness, and I get up, and then they wrap up another lead, and they sit down and they talk a bit and all. And I'm over the staff, and the staff's going like, keep in mind, Ray McGreevy left. He didn't hear any of this conversation, right? So I'm talking to the bar staff, and the bar staff's going, Jesus, look at that there. Like, no, we were trying to get you on, and I'm looking at them going, I know you're right. I know. I'm like, this is terrible. And I look over to Rob and give him a wee wink. But I'm going to the bar staff. I know, fuck's sake, taking their time, aren't they? But Ray's walking past me and he stops and looks at me, just hears me saying this to the bar staff.
Taking their time.
And he looks, I know, and he looks at me like
cheeky bastard.
And I'm all like, oh no. And I wanted to say to him, Ray, I'm sorry. But no, he just walked on, and I'm pretty sure that man hates me. So like, yeah, so your hero hates you. Like, just imagine that one.
But just what you were saying there now, Stephen, is like, I mean, obviously you're thinking, like, you're looking up and I'm going like, you're like a celebrity and all, and to be honest, that's the way you are to a lot of people now. And I'll tell you that there. I mean, seeing the plaudits, you get the people to speak to me about you, even like whenever. No, like when I first put out the post about saying about who should get on, and the amount of people, mate, that said about getting you on, like anytime I play your songs on the show, it's the people just talk about your voice, and it means, I mean, you have to get the plaudits you deserve, mate. Honestly, I'll tell you. I know you don't like hearing these kind of things, but you definitely deserve them. So you do. Right, so we're going to play another song, but before that, I want to first mention the first song I played there. We started playing with your rendition of 90 Miles, Dublin Town, obviously the Christy Moore song, and you spoke there about Cruncher. She did, and whenever I done my interview with Cruncher a couple of years ago in the Raddies, obviously, he picked a few songs he wanted me to play for him. This was one of them. So it was, and the reason he mentioned the song was because he says, this is the song that made me want to be a rebel singer. So it was, he says, I went down to Dublin, and knew Christy Moore was playing. It was like a big, like a prisoners thing, whatever. And he was giving out copies of his vinyl. And he says, once I brought a record home, listened to it, and learnt it, and just made it my own. So tell us a wee bit for you about this here song.
What song is it again?
90 Miles, Dublin.
Oh, 90 Miles. Well, 90 Miles, that was taken from interviews when Christy Moore went up to the jail and had interviews with some of the prisoners. Fran McCann being, I think it was Fran McCann and Danny Morrison, I think it was. Like they were going up to the jail and they had interviews with Christy because Christy wanted to write a song about it and put it out there, and he wrote it. So for me, 90 Miles is really like, 90 Miles is like the heart of the struggle. You know what I mean? It was written in the middle of the blanket protest, and it came directly as in like first hand words from the prisoners themselves who were experiencing day and daily. So to me, 90 Miles is one of those songs that just epitomizes the struggle, you know, and the melody they use behind it is just really. It just touches you and it gives you goosebumps, and I'm kind of getting some goosebumps now just talking about it. I'm not no joke. It's an amazing song. I just want to say, in case you weren't aware, and for anyone that does know, Cruncher's in hospital. He took another stroke.
Yeah,
so he had.
I mentioned there. I was talking about it the last couple of weeks or so. It was terrible.
Ah, Jesus, terrible. What is it? He's been in for what, 2 months now? Is it?
Yeah.
He's been in for 2 months. They're looking out. They're saying that he might be out in the next couple of weeks. Like, but you see, that's terrible for a man of his stature. Like, you know, it's just terrible.
Hopefully he pulls through it. Like,
he's gonna pull through. It's just sort of just hopefully he puts you through in better shape rather than worse shape, you know.
Yeah.
You get-
We're going to play another song this time. It's a track that you released there not so long ago. It's your version of Francie Brawley's song, the H-Block song. I remember when you first sent me this here, and the version, obviously you were talking about the way you put it together. And obviously a lot of people always request for this song on the show. So tell us a wee bit about recording this here song, this H-Block song.
So through lockdown, as you know, I've done the live streams on it. There was some of my listeners turned out to be some members of a teachers union in New York called the UFT, United Federation of Teachers, and they reached out and they said they were asking for the album too, or one of them was anyway, and I was like, oh no, I haven't got a recording. I don't really have the means to record it properly and what. And they were like, a friend's boyfriend or friend, like my friend's partner's a music producer. So I'll try and make that work. So we'll touch base, and there was a guy called Sim Stevenson. Class, he was talking away to him, and he's like the coolest dude you'd ever see in your life. If you ever talk to this guy, he's just like the coolest dude you'll ever meet. So I was talking to him. It was just through FaceTime meetings, and he was just talking about what I wanted to record and stuff. And I just says, I would like to put one song out just to see how it goes. And he's like, right. And this guy had never listened to Rebel music. He was a black fella, like, you know, so he wasn't really familiar with the genre whatsoever. Not because he was black, just he never had. But he says, sure, send it to me and see. And he had never listened to the song before, and I sent it to him, and he came back with what you have there now. And it was just his whole take on it, which was amazing, because he was listening to this song raw. It was just me and the guitar that I sent off to him, and he was listening to it raw. So, and when he came back to me, he says it's amazing. It just tells this incredible story of struggle. And I was like, I know. And then so for him, so he said he felt the heart of it in the lyrics, and then so he wanted to sort of compose the music to put together to it. And when he sent it back to me, I added the audio snippets from the hunger strikes, you know, from Bobby's funeral and the election and that. So that's why I added that just to fill in. There was like a wee bit, there was just a little gap there that it was just missing something. And I was thinking, I was actually talking to a friend, and he was like, why don't you put audio clips of the hunger strike or something? I was like, you know what, it's a great idea. So it's a collection of ideas, that song, you know, it's a collection of ideas. What I went on to find out was that Sim's actually got a Grammy award. He does work for like Michael Bublé and stuff, which was amazing. Jesus. And he done, I know, and he done that.
Small world.
I was like, yeah, and he's so modest. It's class. But like I said, you heard what he done, and he wasn't familiar with the genre. Now, when I sent him some other stuff and he came back with it, the unfamiliarity with the genre really sort of shone through, you know. It just wasn't what I wanted. But for that one song, it was. I
really worked.
I think he done really good, you know.
Yeah. Right, so we'll put you on mute for a second, okay, mate?
And
then we'll get the song on. So this is going to be the next song of the day, folks, from Stefan. It's his take on the original Francie Brawley track, the H-Block song. It's a phenomenal version of this song, folks. So let's have a listen. Here we go.
I am a proud young Irish man in Ulster's hills. My life began a happy boy. Through green fields ran, I kept God's and man's laws. But when my age was barely 10, my country's wrongs were told again by the tens of thousand marching men. My heart stirred to the cause. I wear no convict's uniform, nor meekly serve my time. That Britain may brand Ireland's fine, 800 years of crime. I learned of centuries of strife, of cruel laws, injustice rife, but I saw now in my own young life the fruits of foreign sway. Protesters threatened, tortured, maimed, divisions nurtured, passions flamed, outrage provoked, rights caused to fame. This is the conqueror's way. I'll wear no convict's uniform, nor meekly serve my time. That Britain might brand Ireland's fight. 800 years of crime. Descendants of proud Connacht's clan, cancers, cruel Britain's hand, man's inhumanity, the man has spurned this trusty slave. No strangers are these boats and locks, no new design. These dark age blocks, cruel Cromwell lives, while Thatcher talks, the bullies taunt to brave. I'll wear no convict's uniform, nor meekly serve my time. That Britain might brand Ireland's fight. 800 years of crime.
Sam, Bobby, Anthony David Club, Armagh, political prisoner, 35. 492.
Does Britain need 1,000 years of protest, riots, death and tears, or will the last decade of fears be an 80 decades swell? An end to Ireland's agony, new hope for human dignity, or will last obscenity be this dark age block cell? I'll wear no convict's uniform, nor meekly serve my time. That Britain might brand Ireland's fight. 800 years of crime. In 100 years of crime.
Just love the big drums at the end there, mate. That there.
Yeah.
There you go. So, welcome back to the show. Joined by Stefan here, West Belfast rebel singer. That was his version of Francie Bolly's song, the H-Block song, mate. Phenomenal version. So obviously, we're now hopefully in a lockdown for good, with a bit of luck. There's no denying that obviously lockdown helped the careers and probably launched the careers of so many musicians. And I sort of put myself in that show, in that bracket as well. So it would, although coronavirus and COVID was shocking. But obviously we're all locked down and stuff, and we had to sort of do things and get ourselves through it. So what did you obviously you used to do like a live Monday stream. Obviously late nights, and I say there's a few mornings I was late for work because I used to go to bed at 11 o'clock. I would get like a notification that you were on live, and I was sitting there like, listening to 12, half 12, and then but he almost missed my alarm. For obviously the show itself, like doing the lockdown sessions, what did you get out of it, sort of personally? I mean, apart from like a shitload of sort of new followers on social media and stuff like.
Well, you hit the nail on the head there. It really did. It launched everyone's career. Well, anyone that wasn't really sort of
No one.
anyway known. Yeah,
Aye.
yeah, yeah. It sort of give that opportunity. It give everyone almost like an equal power to sort of start off and play with. So because social media, as you know, is just like the possibilities are endless. So when shares your one person shares your stream, their friends all see it too.
Yep.
So it's great. From what I personally took away from it was it was more the crowd engagement, crowd interaction that you just don't get in a bar. Now,
Yeah.
yeah. So whenever you're in a bar, you get requests, but you get some requests where the streams were heavily based on requests. You're playing every song you're playing was a song that somebody requested in.
Asked for.
Now,
Yeah.
yeah. So you get that real engagement. You really find out what people want and what people like. Rather than because at the start, whenever you start playing, you're only playing what you like.
Yeah.
And it takes time to sort of understand what people want and how to read a crowd. And I still struggle with that, but yeah, it's just finding what people actually like and people requesting songs that you don't know, and you learn a lot. So yeah, you just really get to know your audience, which was worth more than fucking I don't know.
Definitely. Tell us about the Penguins. Because actually, I see them now behind
Yeah,
you.
yeah. I pulled them out for the stream.
But because I know
Just
there was a
for
few
you.
people. It was a bit of a joke. You say, "There's Penguin Mondays on," because it used to have. Was it like? Do you have wee stickers on your back window or something, or the door or something? They're in the background.
No. These are the OGs here. So
Right, the
whenever I
OGs.
lived, whenever I lived up in the flat, where I was like positioned to stream, there was a door right behind me, and if it was nighttime, if it was daytime, the light
was
shone
sun
right
getting
in.
in, right, okay.
As you can see, as you know yourself, when the camera's in front of you and
Yeah.
light behind you, it's like it just silhouettes you. So I had to like black out the light one way, and the only thing I had was this here big fluffy blanket my auntie bought me. So it didn't here's me, and it'll do. And I tried to flip it around the other way where it was less clear, but sure, you're going straight on the glass, and everybody can see exactly what it was. So it started out as for practicality, and then just ended up for the crack. Everybody that sort of became part of the stream, so sure kept them up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody enjoyed it. People were naming them and all. It was good. It was it was funny. It was all for the crack,
Just talking about the live streams there. Obviously James, who's a guy from Birmingham, who's a regular listener to my show as well. He has said, he says, I loved Stefan's live lockdown stream. Says he was never on time, but he always had a real ale. So what's crack? What's crack with the beer? Are you still making it, or?
I don't have, because I've moved house. I don't have the room at the minute really to make it. So I don't. But yeah, my timing's just anyone that knows me. It's like the thing about it is, right. It's like I plan ahead for everything. Like everything I plan. It's like, well, I'll have this to do. If I have to do something in the morning, I'll wake up early, but I'm still always late, and I don't know how. I don't know why. So yeah, that's me.
So sort of you sort of managed. You spoke about some of the bars earlier on at the start. You sort of managed to bag yourself some sort of good monthly sort of residencies, and some of the sort of bigger like rebel music bars in and around the city. Obviously, including the Rock Bar, Nancy Mulligan's, the Felons, the Suffolk Inn. Obviously, in the Hole in the Wall over in the north as well. Is there a sort of obviously? Speaking of them, like, is there a sort of any of them bars or the crowds that you would have?
I'm still listening to you. I can still hear you.
We just disappeared. Is there any of those particular bars or crowds that you would sort of find you have a bigger connection with?
Well, it's hard to like whenever you define a bigger connection. What do you mean by that?
I mean, like sort of you would get a real good sort of like feedback though from the crowd. I mean, that you're sort of that you're feeding off. I mean, when you're playing, like.
I get you now. Yeah, absolutely. So when you get to regular gigs, especially in the likes of the Rock and Nancy's on a Sunday, everybody's out for a rabble too,
Yeah.
So and you get a lot of the same people every week, and even though they request the same songs for the most part, it's still great because they want it and it's there, and you're giving them what they want. And when you give people what they want, they enjoy it and they tend to enjoy themselves a bit better for that. There, but yeah, it's good. Mm-hmm.
So over the last couple of years, you've got yourself a good few sort of bookings now with Saoirse Promotions. And obviously I've done a few gigs myself with you as well. They've been great. It sort of took you all over the place, including like Belfast, Derry, Cork, Scotland. Recently over to obviously the Santa Ponsa and Mallorca. You've done a few gigs there, and you're going to be doing a few gigs in America later in the year as well. So just sort of saying, obviously it was sort of well publicised about your flying, or your fear of sort of phobia of flying. Do you think maybe if you had ditched that a bit earlier, you may have had a few more of these gigs or
I don't think so, mate. I don't think so. I wasn't really after.
What actually was it? I mean, was it basically you just hadn't flown before, or what was the crack with the flying?
I had a lifelong fear of flying, so I had it always, and it was never really about it wasn't never really about crashing, the plane crashing. I think it was just like, it was a fear. It wasn't even claustrophobic. It was like this here fear of getting on a plane and developing claustrophobia. It was weird. So I just never wanted to fly. So, and then whenever eventually done, I was booked by Dixie from Left Wing Badges for the Michael Conlon pre-fight party over in
the one in England.
Yeah, so he booked me, and I was playing on the Friday and Saturday. So Michael Conlon was he was fighting on the Saturday, and Dixie got me over to the bar to play for everyone on the Friday and the Saturday. It was some night out, like just half of Belfast was there. It was amazing. He got me over. I'd done the flight. I was shaping myself. I didn't sleep the Thursday night, no. So I wasn't in. I was in the taxi on the way to the airport going, I could just tell him that well,
I can't make it.
Tell us that, yeah. And here's me fucking just ways up. So get on a plane. And on a plane, done the flight, and just like the second they lifted off, I was just wondering what I've done with half my life. And I genuinely love. I love being at an airport. I love the flights. I love a wee bit of turbulence. I just love flying now. So, and as you know, the last 2 weeks there, I was in Mallorca twice. So I was there Monday to Friday, and then home Friday, and then the following Monday, and then home on Thursday there. So I flew 4 times. 4 long flights in the last 2 weeks, and it was amazing. Loved every bit of it.
What was I missing all along? Like?
Exactly. And the America flight coming up here in 2 weeks. I can't wait for it because it's like 7 hours.
Yeah. So we'll talk about obviously Saoirse. So tell us a wee bit about coming on board with them. So obviously they brought you in down to Cork and stuff, playing the bar. And, I mean, it's. Obviously, they've given me a lot of gigs playing with Gary and stuff as well, and it's so opened a few doors up for me that I wouldn't have. What do you think would be the same for yourself? Maybe a few gigs you might not have got before that they seem to have opened a few doors for you, like?
No doubt whatsoever. No doubt whatsoever. I think that Saoirse boys are great, and when I'm saying the Saoirse boys, as you know, Kate, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's like when you talk about Saoirse, I think Kate's the one that does all the work behind. It's just kind of mix the face, you know what I mean? The two ugly faces of Saoirse, But there's absolutely no doubt whatsoever that if it wasn't for Saoirse, I wouldn't have half the bigger gigs. It's like I was contacted, like Saoirse booked me to open for Gary, so they had, growing up listening to Gary, it's just. You know what I mean? Gary would have been another one of the heroes, like the rest of them, like the Irish Brigade, the Wolf Tones, and that. So it's just to be playing alongside Gary, well, not alongside it, opening up for him. To me, it was like a dream, something I could never have imagined when I was younger. And I've done that there through Saoirse, and I think whenever you're seen playing bigger gigs with Gary and that there, it's sort of it's just helped the likes of like Dixie and Left Wing Badges there, just sort of like brought my attention,
Yeah.
So I've no doubt that if it wasn't for the big gigs here she had booked me for, I would have less sort of attention brought me, and I wouldn't have been noticed by the likes of, like I said, Dixie, who brought me over to Nottingham. He booked me for that for the festival over in Palma. So Saoirse has been, I think it's been a real turning point in my career so far.
You've done there obviously a couple of weekends in Scotland as well this year. So tell us about the end gigs. What was it like first playing over
there? Right, so I've done 2 weeks over there this year, and the first one was a disaster. So it was.
Why?
For anyone that didn't know. So I landed over, it says, because I hadn't flew then. That was in February. I hadn't flew, so I was like, and I very rarely get out of Ireland. So I was like, I'm going to make a holiday this year. I'll go from Wednesday to Wednesday. I'll go over for a week and enjoy myself. So I'll land over on the Wednesday, or did I land on the Thursday? No, I land over on the Thursday. So I obviously had to take the boat with my gear. So I'll get over and I'm staying just outside Glasgow, and I'd never been to Parkhead either. And it was Megal from Saoirse contacted me and says, "Here, look, I have a ticket for Parkhead for you for the Bordeaux Glimp game." I was like, "Brilliant! I come on in. We'll go." And I was like, happy to. So I'm driving into Glasgow. So then I get hit with a speed camera. So that's 3 points and £100 fine. I was like, for fuck's sake. So
What
get down
speed
to.
were
I wasn't that much here. Here, this one
Just
was
a
an
wee bit.
actual trap. This was a dual carriageway that randomly drops to 30 miles an hour. So it does, and then speeds back up to 50. And for one short stretch of it, so it's a clear trap. Like anyone in Scotland will know it. Anyone near Glasgow, it's out in Cumbernauld. But so I was coming in, hit with speed camera, £100 fine, 3 points, and I'm like, for fuck's sake. I get down to the Squirrel Bar where Mick's sitting, and I'm like, you coming? Here's him, what's wrong with you? Here's me, just got hit with a speed camera. Here's him, for fuck's sake. Here's him, can we give someone else a lift? And there's me, right? So I start loading my gear. Out of the car into the Squirrel for my gig the next day, and I lock my keys in my car. So so I lock the keys in my car, and there's like deliberation about whether we can yank the door open, smash the window, and I'm like, nah, we're just gonna have to pay someone to come out. So I had to ring someone, £130. It was
Jesus
big.
Christ.
What do you call it again? Kieran from Erigal. Fair play to him. He stayed behind too to help as well. He was on the phone to AA. He was trying to get me to sign up and all. And it's like, oh, mate, you need to pay them 50 quid up front to sign up to AA. And I'm like, no, mate, I'm not signing up to AA. There's no other choice. Here's me. Hold on. So we're wrong, right? Exactly. So I rung up. So it was £50. I think it was £50 for the membership, the AA, and then they were looking like 200 quid or 150, whatever it was to do it. And they were going to be a few hours. It was like not amazing. So that's by a stage the fucking game's kicked off and all. I've missed the game. So we'll phone some.
What I'm wondering is how the three is fit into that wee hairdresser car you drive.
We don't all drive fucking 18-wheelers, mate. You know
what?
We don't all drive 18-wheelers.
But
you know.
What was it? Wee Audi? Something you drive? Was it Audi?
An A3. It's Audrey. She's called Audrey.
Audrey.
Audrey. She got me from Cork to Belfast in 3 hours and 8 minutes. But you know, that's a minor detail. Cork City to Belfast.
So how
back to the story.
How was the gigs?
Back to the story. So you hit our speeding fine, locked my keys in my car. It cost me 130 quid to get them back out. I done the and then I caught COVID that weekend too. So I got sick with COVID that weekend. So it was just a disaster. But that's the week I done the Barrowlands.
Yes.
So it was
how was that?
It was amazing. I was that night. I'd ended up in Murphy's Bar in Glasgow and I was having a drink. I went down for a couple of pints just, and Kieran Warfield's there. I got talking away to Kieran, and Kieran says to me, "Here, I'd love to have you up if you want to come up for a guest song." And I was like, "Absolutely." In the Barrowlands, because he was opening
for the Wolfhounds, yeah.
So I was like, "Absolutely," and got down to the Barrowlands, and security wouldn't let me in. I got down, and then he was like, "Nah, mate." And I'm like, "Here's a minute. Is there any way you can prove that you're here?" Here's me.
You're singing.
Mate, there's a video. There's a video and photos of me earlier on sound checking up on stage in the Barrowlands. Here's him. Is there anything else? Here's me. Here's him. Is there anyone you can ring to come down? Here's me. I Kieran Warfield, but he's on stage now. Here's him. Sorry, mate. You can't get up.
Seriously?
And then I was like, and he walked up, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? And he danders away, and then so I say, and he was the head of security, and then so I said to someone else, he says, "Here, look, I'm meant to be up on stage," and she says, "Oh, I don't sweat me going up," and she just let me up, so I got up, and then I got up into the building. I was trying to get up on stage, and security was fighting with me there too. And I was like, "What's going on here?" And then so Kieran Warfield was standing on stage, pointing, saying, "Let him up," and I was like, "Right, happy to." So I get up, and it was the biggest gig. It was sure. You know what the Barrowlands take, and I got up and I sung a Sam song, a song that I sing 4 times a week, every week for the last 3 years, and I forgot the words of the first verse.
Just by the adrenaline, was it?
That's what it was, mate. Just nerves. It It was the biggest gig. It was the biggest gig I'd ever done. But sure, they were quickly passed, and I don't know whether they were quickly passed. And in Mallorca, whenever I done that big gig for the ones that were out there and saw how many people was there, I don't know whether it was that or the fact I was on the liquor from 12 o'clock that day.
Well,
but you know,
I was going to mention next. Obviously, so you done there the couple of the gigs there for Dixie, or the Rebel Fest. So obviously, how did that all come about? Then was that more or less just like with your association with Saoirse, and sort of they brought you in, or what?
So this is what I'm saying. I was talking to Dixie, and Dixie says he was talking to another singer on the scene, and they were planning the event, and they just wanted one more act, and it says, well, we'll give someone smaller who might give them an opportunity to sort of grow a bit. And he says himself and the other person said at the same time my name. So that's a story that Dixie told me, and I was like, that's amazing. Like, you know, it's just a strange sort of, it's a strange thing. Like, I've no doubt at all that Saoirse kept me on other gigs, some of the bigger gigs, sort of helped boost my online profile, sort of made me sort of help me get recognised, you know. So, amazing. And if anyone was there over in Mallorca, they know the
I was watching, like, busy. Obviously, I was working that day, and first of all, I seen the video. It said Kelly's Bar. We're using, obviously, and I've never seen Gary O drinking in my life. And I was like, is Gary sitting on a beer here, like? And so obviously he was right, like, you were fucking lit, like. And then I looked literally look on the live feed. My next thing, you were starting with a balaclava on the stage. What
the balaclava?
What was that all about? What happened there?
So, as you know, we were drinking from about 12 o'clock that day. And by the time we're going on stage, it's like 8 o'clock at night, you know. So it is, and we haven't stopped drinking. Dixie was feeding us drinking Kelly's, but obviously, because Kelly's couldn't sell beer, he was just giving it to us, you know. He had to. The crowd outside Kelly's grew so much that the peelers came and shut it down. So then, because they just went, Kelly's just went, because we can't serve beer, everybody grab a carrot and we'll just have a big session.
So that's it.
So everyone grabbing carrots, and then everyone on their mates, and next you know, every cunt's granny was there. And then the peelers just turned up, and they're out in the path, they're in front of the chemist, they're everywhere, man. And I just went, I had to shut this down. So I got shut down. So everybody was well primed for going to the gig.
The session that night,
Yeah, so we get down. I went on like eight or 9. I can't remember. I think it was 8 o'clock I went on. And so I've been drinking from 12 solid, like, and I have a drink, but I never sort of get black, you know. So I was rolled off, man. Clean road.
Different story when you're sat at Ponsley.
That's it. Here, that's another story itself.
The
drinking over there. What is it there? You can drink out there like you can't drink.
I know, mate. Yeah, it's crazy.
I drunk all week last week and didn't get one hangover. If I go here, see if I went down the back at Snan and have 5 pints tomorrow, my head would be hanging off.
Yeah, I know.
But anyway, so I got up and I'm done my gig. It was 8. Went on like 8 o'clock. It was black, and halfway through my gig, some girl like whips a balaclava, a big yellow balaclava off, and throws it up on the stage. And me being black, I look at this thing and said, "This is going on my head, like it's going on my head." So I jumped there and I put it on. Everybody goes mad when I see it. I do the Sam song with it on.
Did you remember the words?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Here, I do the Sam song, and then I throw it back into the stage. So I throw it back down into the crowd, and for the rest of the week in Mallorca, everybody's like, "Oh, where's your balaclava? Where's your balaclava?" And do you know the story, D? That says, "Where's your balaclava?" And I was like, "Oh, I did." And then I just had a point. I went out for a drink, and then I was black, and I was like, someone said, "Where's your yellow balaclava?" And I'll show you where it is. And I went and got a fucking tattooed on me like a dick.
I didn't see it. There you go. Jesus Christ.
So
that's definitely a holiday tattoo to talk about.
That's what it was. So so every time someone said, "Where's your balaclava?" I was like, "There it is, and they're all laughing like. But I wasn't laughing because I went black and got it. So I did. So I pissed with blood for fucking 2 days. So it was a red balaclava for a while, like. But
that's what it's all about, mate.
It was fucking best week of my life.
Brilliant, happy days. So we're going to touch now on your gigs coming on America. So when are these taking place? And where is it? Or?
So first gig I've got. As far as I know, I'm doing 2 music festivals and 4 bar gigs. I think. I need to double check that. Saoirse's.
Is this over in Boston or something? Is it?
Yeah. So the first one is the Cape Cod Rebel Fest,
right?
And it is in Boston on I think it's the last weekend, and the dates are, I forget the dates. The last weekend in June. So it is with their head on. I'm going on the 20th of June, so I think it starts about the 25th to the 28th. I think that's what it is, or 25th to the 27th of June in Cape Cod. That's just south of Boston. It's about 2 hours south of Boston. The following weekend, I'm up upstate New York in a place called Catskills. Apparently Mike Tyson trained there. I'm doing a Fenian Fest up there in a place called McGrath's Bar. And it turns out I only realised the other day that I'm going to be playing in America over the 4th of July. So hopefully it's a wee bit crazy, you know. I singing fucking rebel songs on the 4th of July. It'll be good crack. And then I've got, I don't know where they are yet, but I know I've got 4 gigs so far in New York City. So I have for the following 2 weeks. So hopefully that grows. I think hopefully I'll get a few more gigs out of it there. But I'm over in America for 4 weeks altogether. So
where are you staying? People are they putting up in a hotel or what? Or what's?
The guy who's running Rebel Fest Cape Cod, I think he owns a hotel or he runs a hotel, so he puts us up. I'm getting put up that week, and then McGrath is putting me up the following week, and then I have digs with friends and stuff in New York for the following weeks after that. You know,
classmate, fair pretty, really chuffy about to get these gigs.
Cheers.
So obviously now we're going to talk about your long-awaited debut album. So Rebel Heart, you've called it. So tell us about, obviously, is the album finished, ready to go?
The album's finished, ready to go. It's just to go up to Spotify. I've just to put it up on Spotify now. I have to say now, one of the songs, there's 2 songs recorded on it that aren't going to make it on it. One is going to disappoint people. I've disappointed myself with it, but it's a decision I haven't taken lately.
Is that what you didn't like the way it was recorded, or?
Yeah, I didn't like how I had recorded that, and the more I listened back to it, the more annoyed I was with myself over it. So, one of the songs was "The Streets of Gibraltar." I recorded, and it was just I didn't like how it turned out in the end. And the other one was "ICA," which I was really disappointed about.
Oh, really? Okay.
So there was what happened was there was I went into the studio, and for the first recording session, we recorded in a way that I didn't like. But the studio was like, look, we'll give this a go. So they recorded like instrument first, then vocals, and it was as handy as it was. If you made a mistake, they just need to clip you back a little bit. So they could go back, and then you could just re-record like individual bits. But it was just so unnatural sounding for me and for what I wanted that the following sessions were just live capture, so just vocals and guitar together. If I made a mistake, I had to go back to the start and sing a song from the start. But it's just how I like it. It just sounds more natural, flows a lot better. Unfortunately, the ICA song was in the first session. I done 3 songs that session. I think I done Darky Hughes, ICA, and what was the other one? I think it was Farewell to Balaki. I think McAwee's Farewell may have been the third one. I'm certain it might have been. But unfortunately, the ICA was the one that I was really unhappy with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to release the album without it on it, and it really disappointed me the most because it's one of the sort of flagship songs for me.
I was going to say for you, that's the song everybody knows you by. I mean, because you're a version of the song.
And that's why I don't want to just release trash. Like, to be honest with you, it's just if I'm not happy with it. And obviously, there's a lot of the album that, listening back, I wish I'd done a bit different. But I'm happy overall with sort of my song selection and for the bulk of the album and I just want to get it out because I've been promising people it for ages. That's why rather than going straight to CD, I'm just going straight to Spotify with it because the album's not for me, it's for everyone else, for everyone who supported me over lockdown, the people who really sort of, I don't know, got me where I am now, so it's for them, it's for you,
I have the album on the screen here now, the cover you sent me last night. So tell me about this album cover. What does it like? What's it all about? What's the picture and stuff? Why you chose this here?
Well, it's a picture of the Davis Flats. So it is, and as you'll see, it's like a Davis Flats in a burnt out car and a child there. So it's just a photo of the struggle, especially local to where I'm from. I'm from West Belfast myself, but just last minute, I slapped the yellow balaclava on because why not? It's all for fun, isn't it?
And just to clarify, that child isn't you then?
No, I know I'm old, but I'm not that fucking old. Jesus. Yeah. I'm putting up. Hopefully tonight it'll go up on the Spotify, and it takes. I'm not sure how long it usually takes for it to go from Spotify to or it gets uploaded. We've got guests in here.
My dad's just popping the screen here, so he's bringing up a cup of tea. So he is
and your newspaper. But yeah, so I'll hopefully have that up on Spotify tonight. It takes a few days, I think, to go through. So so at some point next week, the album should be live on Spotify.
So is it going on CD at all then, or are you just putting it in Spotify?
Down the line, maybe when I get back from America, I'll put it on. Some people's asking for USB as well, like, so I'll maybe do some of those off the sort of and put them for sale at my gigs for the people that don't have access to Spotify, So, but for now, it's about like most of the people I speak to use Spotify. So, like I says, it's the album's for them, not for me,
Yeah.
So yeah.
You'd sort of said after you were going to give me one of the tracks to play for the show today. So it's like a first, folks. Nobody's heard any songs of this album yet. So we're going to play This Land Is Your Land from the album. So tell us a wee bit about, I know this here song's a bit special to you, like, so why you want to get this one played for?
So, for those that, well, obviously nobody knows, I've actually brought my daughter in to sing with me with this song. It went on the album. This song was actually for her, going on the albums, because so she'll have something to look back on and listen to, because she's as part of everything, as part of my life as music is. So she's always going to have a part to play in it, and it's just something for me and her, and it'll always be there, So the song, we would sing it whenever I drive her to school in the mornings. We would sing it because it's a song about a man and his daughter, So, and it was, and I just thought it was fitting to put on to the album. So I really hope everybody likes it. Hope they enjoy it.
So, you gonna have any plans maybe to even do like a live stream launching the album or what? Or what? I mean, just to let everybody know it's on Spotify or something like that. Or
I know I'm terrible with social media, man. I'm not as good as you or other people, like, and I just...
You need to go on the Emer and get her to sort your social media for you.
I know, she's here, she's class at social media, She's hammering away at it every day, and I just don't have the skill to do it, I just don't have the know-how. I've got what, 6,500 followers on Facebook and like 200 on Instagram. It's like, and I'm posting on Instagram more than I'm posting on Facebook now, so I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just inept when it comes to technology, But yeah, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Well, you know what? It's not a bad idea to live stream. I was toying with the idea of doing an album launch in like the Rock or something, but I think I just want to get it out there and get it out there and over and done with, and just post about it. Like I says, it's not an album for me to make money from. It's more for a thanks.
Songs.
A thanks for everyone. Yeah.
Well, folks, friendly is they're on Spotify. Isn't it? I think I pay £11 a month, mine. That's for 2 accounts. And here, folks, it's amazing. Honestly, I mean, get on to it, and the amount of music and half my show is played through Spotify, so it is like now, and definitely it's great. It's going to be great now that your album's on from next week, so I'll be able to play the song.
But it's free. It's as you know, you don't need to pay for Spotify to get the songs, and I know it jumps about, but Spotify has it set now that an album's played in order, from track 1 to track 2. They took the shuffle aspect of that away, but I know it jumps with the other songs from the genre that aren't the artist you originally listened to. But like I says, £11 a month isn't much. Like, you're right, it's not. But
so listen, Stephen, thanks very much, mate, for coming on today. It was a great interview as always.
Cheers, mate.
Getting you on.
Thank you.
So listen, folks, so we're going to put him on mute. So we're going to play now the song that Stephen has sent me. This is from his brand new album, Rebel Heart. It's the very first time anybody's heard anything from the album, and this is a song obviously he wants to do because of his daughter, and this is This Land Is Your Land.
is your land, this land is my land. From the northern highlands to the western islands, from the hills of Carby to the streets of free Derby, this land was made for you and me. As I went walking to the Shannon water, hand in hand with my little daughter, with a church bell ringing and the children singing, this land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From the northern highlands to the western islands, from the hills of Carby to the streets of free Derry, this land was made for you and me. I walked her home by the old church steeple, proud of my country, proud of my people. For the men who tried there, to the man who died there, singing, this land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From the northern highlands to the western islands, from the hills of Carby to the streets of free Derby, this land was made for you and me. I climbed the mountain to the crystal fountain. I heard a great roar to the rocky seashore. Her eyes were gleaming. She cried,
"Oh, Daddy, this land was made for you and me."
This land is your land, this land is my land. From the northern highlands to the western islands, from the hills of Carby
to the streets of free Derry,
this land was made for you and me. Singing, this land was made for you and me.
Well, folks, soon of Stefan there with This Land is Made for You and Me from his brand new album. Folks, I'll just put it on the screen here now for you so we can see. There's the album cover now. So it is Rebel Heart. And just to clarify again, that definitely isn't Stephen. It's just obviously a stock picture taken from Vivis Flats a good few years ago. But the yellow balaclava had it in there somewhere, so I cannot wait to get this on. I didn't know till there now that it was going to be on Spotify, which great, happy days. So yeah, folks, as he was saying that the probably later down the lane the album will go on CD, so it will. It's at some stage, but for now it's the album was just going to be getting released on Spotify. So look out for it, folks. So hopefully from next week onwards, you will find Stefan's album Rebel Heart live on Spotify there for you. Yeah, loads of great feedback and comments here, folks, about the interview. Cheers. Irish just says, yeah, loving Stefan, new song, great interview, Ro. Yeah, that's our featured his daughter at the end there. Brilliant. Says great to be able to have his daughter on there with him. Coming out, said there'll be there forever. I mean, it's something that'll always be there for him. So yep. Let's see, James, brilliant interview, privileged to be able to listen to him live. Yes, loads, folks. Anthony Murphy here just saying, Stefan, brilliant interview, great music, good luck with the new album and your tour of America. I might see you in Uri soon. Right, folks, we'll have another about 50 minutes left to go. So if you asked me for a song or on and didn't get it on, I didn't get a chance to, let me know what song you want and I'll try and get it in before we finish up this afternoon. Right, so what are we going to do next? Let's see what song I had lined up here for you. Yeah, we're going to do Wally and Danny. This is the one that was on my album, Rebs for Hope. It's a great version by Glasnevin. Connor and Kieran, who are living it up this weekend away on a drink somewhere. They've been gigging off recently, so it's good to let their hair down. So here we go. This is Glasnevin, folks, on Rebel Sundays with the ballad of Wally and Danny.
sing some songs of glory, sing some songs of peace. But in the end, it's the same old story. They're both too hard to read. The people tell me they're sick and they're tired of seeing this place in town. But I say, take the blindfolds off, you hypocrites, and help us get off the ground. And please say it isn't so. Why within there we had to go. The reasons may be clear. They can down their lives for us here at the year. 70 shots between each body knots. What of those bullets been? I'm up for every trigger you pulled that morning. A volunteer with a list for 5 dugouts. You lived him lying there. The priest was turned away. So that's another step below. For those SAS bastards will never forget the day. And please say it's so. While within there he had to go. The reasons very clear. And they can now their lives for us here at the year. The funerals run to prove their worthiness. Thousands from the roots. Whilst the postal boys hovered helplessly overhead, the rock came out to sun. The empty tin magazines over its coffin as defiantly the crowd was still. So as another day turns, but it comes to be yet again, 'cause Willie and Danny hop around. And please say it is so. While within Danny had to go, the reasons may be clear. And they can now their lives for us here at the year. Please say it isn't so. While within Daddy had to go, the reasons may be clear. And they can now their lives for here at the year. Please say it isn't so.
Oh, yeah, so now Wally and Danny are folks from Glasnevin. This is Rebel Sundays on the Rebel podcast with myself, Ro. And again, a big massive cheers out of Stefan, who just come on there for his interview. A great track, I say. Just listen after hearing his wee daughter singing the song. Brilliant. Something to be really, really proud of out there would be. So fair play to you, mate. So we're really looking forward to once his album finally comes out. Rebel Heart. Let's see. Just looking through these here. Joseph there says, I thought that album cover was the bog side, identical to the old Flats in the Bog. Yeah, definitely looks like it. Gary Parks says, great interview. I'd have to get down the Rebel Fest in the Cape to check him out, definitely. He's one singer you want to hear live. Just, if any have seen Stephen singing, just the way he does the songs, the way he plays the guitar, he has his own unique way he performs, and it's brilliant. obviously honoured to have done a few gigs with him myself. So yeah. Right, so we're going to shoot on with the songs. Before that there, we'll just give you an hour mention, folks, about if anybody's haven't got your tickets yet for this year's End of Year Fans Party at the Rock Bar, featuring Clover from County Limerick and myself, Big Row. The tickets are £10, folks. You can buy them from www.rebelpodcast.bigcartel.com. All the links for this here are on all my social media. The link for it is also on the wee scroll bar at the bottom of the screen. This one here just put up. It's at the very end of it. Also, if you don't have like obviously a PayPal or a credit card, just give me a wee shout on PM and I can arrange a bank transfer or something if you want to get tickets. Say there's only 150 tickets for the gig already, folks. People have bought tickets from Scotland, England, from the south over. It's going to be a really good night in the Rock Bar for our end. Hopefully do this like an annual thing, our end of year sort of big gathering for people. And also the next, if you're still about, the next day, we're going to be doing the live podcast from the Rock Bar on Sunday the 4th, the official after party. So it's going to be upstairs in the Rock from 1 till 5. We'll be doing the podcast live. Hopefully we'll have decent Wi-Fi for there. And then obviously we'll all go downstairs to the Rock later on for Rebel Sundays, have a good old session. So we'll also hope to see a few of you there, folks. If you haven't got tickets yet, please get them. I'd love to see as many people that regularly watch the show as possible to get to the gig. Right, just a few more comments here coming through, flying through. Let's see. Martin says, Sam McGuire is coming home with Derry. Martin, don't be counting your chickens before they've had shit. James, yep, I'm looking forward to it. Let's see, full time, Armagh 116, Tyrone 110. Oh, Jesus, what is happening to this Tyrone team? Maybe All Ireland last year was just a fluke, was it? Definitely won't be going back to Tyrone this year anyway, by the looks of it. There we go. Right, here we go. So next song we're going to do, somebody asked me earlier on to play Pardon Me for Smiling. Great Irish Brigade song. This is normally when we get cut off Facebook, but listen, it's a free-fall now. We've got the interview out of the way, so I don't mind restarting the stream again. So I think it might have been Dan who asked for this, so I'm not sure. Whoever it was asked for Pardon Me for Smiling. Let me know again. I'll give you a shout-out. This is from their album, recorded live in Graces. So it is, I think it's maybe Anya? Maybe singing this one? Or Jerry, I'm not sure. But yeah, this is from their Graces album. Cracking album this year. Kieran Davenport from Glasnevin plays the mandolin in this album, famously does. So here we go. This is the Irish Brigade folks on Rebel Sundays with Pardon Me for Smiling.
I know the wee song this time. A song wrote about the decommissioning of all the big checkpoints along the border. It's pull down the watchtowers, you're going home at last. Say farewell to Balahi, Carrickmore and West Belfast, with your kit bag on your shoulder and a tear all in your eye. But pardon me for smiling while I'm waving you goodbye.
So it's pulled down the watchtower, you're going home at last. Farewell to Balahi, Carrickmore and West Belfast, your hip bag on your shoulder and a tear all in your eye. But pardon me for smiling as I'm waving you goodbye. Well, you say you came to save us in the year of '69, but you say to keep the O-rings, they from falling to decline. When I came, can they
now you found you couldn't beat us after 30 years of war. In spite of all your choppers, foot patrols and armoured cars, did you think we would surrender or get on our knees and beg? Now go crawling home to England with your tail between your legs. Hey! And it's cold down the watchtower, you're going home at last. Farewell to the land we have ignored from West Belfast. Your kit bag on your shoulder and a tear roll in your eye. Ah, but pardon me for smiling like a wave. One more time, I come along. And it's cold down the watchtower, you're going home at last. Farewell to the land we have ignored from West Belfast. Your kit bag on your shoulder and a tear roll in your eye. Ah, but pardon me for smiling as I'm waving you goodbye. Ah, yes, pardon me for smiling as I'm waving you goodbye. Pardon me for smiling.
There we go. Listen, are we off Facebook? Yes. See, I don't think it's literally they let the song play, right? And it was one of the numbers dropped down by about 30 or 40 there. So listen, I'll cut off the Facebook stream here now, and then we'll just start a new one up right now. Nightmare, fuck's sake. It's any Irish Brigade song. But I'm going to play a Wolf Tone song next, and it's probably going to be the same next one is. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, so hopefully the numbers will jump back up again, back on Facebook. Yes, just went off. Now, Derek and Ray, don't be getting on your high horse here talking about Dublin winning All Ireland this year. It's not going to happen. So it isn't. It's definitely not going to happen. Like, I think it'll be a long time before Dublin get back to the Jim Gavin days. So they will. I don't think Aidan Brown will be changing the name of his pub to Desi Farrell's anytime soon, so he won't, to be honest. But we'll see. I think it definitely could be another Northern team winning the All Ireland this year. But definitely Armagh are a dark horse this year, so they are. They just sneak in there, so they might, maybe it's Old Geezer could be one of them ones that said it's just like Ange, trust the system, and they trusted him. He got a few dodgy results, and but it seems like now he has his own team, and like sort of they're playing his way, and maybe this year could be the year Armagh's going to do it. I personally love to see Armagh win another All Ireland, so I would. But it's not going to be Antrim, man. But listen, talking about Antrim, well done yesterday. The hurlers of Croke Park won the Joe McDonagh Cup. They beat one of the long-term sort of bastions of hurling, Kerry, in the Joe McDonagh Cup. So they did. But it's not jokes aside, it's still a trophy they won, and they got the Croke Park. But here, they almost didn't get it in the end there. But listen, fair play to them. It's great to see Antrim. I think it's for them, and this is just another step in that sort of long road to getting back to being a savage hurling team they used to be over the years, Martin Derry will hammer Armagh. Martin, only you have a spanner, I might agree. He wouldn't turn you off, so he wouldn't, Derek. Right, say we're going to do a Wolf Tone song. I will do it now. I had the Wolf Tones on a playlist in the very last week, and this song one I haven't heard in a while. So we tune called the Wearing of the Green. Love this here song by the Wolf Tones. So I don't really know if I've played this one on the show before or not. But here we go. So what's the next song of the day? We're doing the last 30 minutes of the day show, folks. It's the Wolf Tones on Rebel Sundays with the Wearing of the Green.
Paddy dear, and did you hear the news that's going round? The shamrock is by law forbid to grow on Irish ground. St. Patrick's Day no more will keep his colours, can't be seen. For they're hanging men and women for the wearing of the green. I met with Napper Tandy and he took me by the hand. He said, how's dear old Ireland and how does she stand? She's the most distressful country that you have ever seen. For the hanging men and women, for the wearing of the green. For the wearing of the green, for the wearing since the colour we must wear is England's cruel red. Sure, Ireland's sons will ne'er forget the blood that they have shed. You may take the shamrock from your hat and cast it on the sod, but 'twill take root and flourish there, no wonder foot 'tis trod. My father loved his country and sleeps within its breast, while I that would have died for her must never so be blessed. Those tears my mother shed for me, how bitter they had been, if I had proved a traitor to the wearing of the green. For the wearing of the green, for the wearing of the green, they're hanging men and women for the wearing of the green. But if at last our colours should be torn from Ireland's heart, her sons with shame and sorrow from the dear old Isle will part. I've heard a whisper of a land that lies beyond the sea, where rich and poor stand equal in the light of freedom's day. Oh, Ireland, must we leave you driven by a tyrant's hand, and seek a mother's blessing from a strange and distant land, where the cruel cross of England shall never more be seen, and in that land we'll live and die, still wearing Ireland's green. For the wearing of the green, for the wearing of the green, they're hanging men and women for the wearing of the green. For the wearing of the green, for the wearing of the green, they're hanging men and women for the wearing of the green.
There we go. There's the wearing of the green from the Wolf Tones. That's a really, really old version of it, but brilliant, really brilliant song. Great lyrics that there, so they are. Let's see. Anne-Marie Barkley is watching from God's country. Of course you are. West Belfast. There's no doubt is God's country. Derek, have you not been listening from the very, very start? He was looking for 90 miles from Dublin for Joe, Carlan, Terry and Rob. That is the first song I played when I started off Stephen's interview. Jesus, like, mate, what's going on? Ro, you know it's the best city in the world. Well, that's debatable, so it is. Are you talking about Belfast? Of course it is. Like, Connie Baker is watching from Broxburn. Where is that in Scotland somewhere, is it? Broxburn? I'm sure it's in Scotland, is it? Let's see. Yes, Joe, you're right here. I know there isn't like somebody listening on Facebook with people. It is all to do with like algorithms. It's they listen for certain buzzwords, and but I just think anything at all when you mention Irish Brigade or whatever, I would play a song. I mean, the Irish Brigade can't even have their own Facebook page. It just gets shut down automatically, which is just a disgrace. Like, I mean, when you talk about censorship, I think they just in the end they just give up and just stop making pages because it was pointless them uploading stuff on them because they just kept getting deleted and getting removed for so-called breaches of community guidelines and all this here balls like Bells Hill, Ben. Patricia Malone is watching from Newry. How you doing? Stephen Little is watching from Glasgow. Happy days. A lot of people would love to see Broxburn. Aye, definitely. A shithole that it is. Yes, Broxburn is just outside Edinburgh. There we go. Not a problem. No, Dublin. Yeah. All right, Derek. Paul McAleese is watching it in South Derry. Happy days. Cheers, Paul, for tuning in today. Loads of new people here jumped in on the Facebook stream. Must have only just come on there whenever I jump back in. Right, what are we going to do next? I think we'll have a track here lined up from Callie's Men. We're going to do, we're going to play it's the first song on the album, Callie's Men's live album, recorded live in Derry, The Ballad of Billy Reid. What do we have, folks? We'll have another 25 minutes left of the day's show, so get the requests in for any songs you want, and we'll get them on before we'll wrap her up this afternoon. And again, if you are enjoying the show, you're enjoying the show on a Sunday, folks, please drop us a wee tip or a donation. As actually Stephen was saying there, he says, loving this new look and stuff for the interviews. It all goes towards folks, people giving me donations and tips. It helps me to pay for all this here kind of thing, and I have to pay every month all these subscriptions and stuff for the studio we have. So if any of you can't drop something, there's 2 wee links there. There's one for Revolut and there's one for PayPal. And if you don't use PayPal or Revolut, just send me a wee PM, and I will give you the details if you want to send a bank transfer, which so many do every week. I say so. Thanks very much to you as well, folks, for dropping me a tip or donation. It does go to help the run of the show every Sunday. So cheers. Let's see. Derek Daly says, "Good afternoon, Ro. Having a few scoops in the PD. Happy days. Get Sean to get this here on the big screen in there, and we'll get it on the PD." Lynn Anderson, back for the last 25 minutes. Hope you managed to play Ireland Long to Be Free yet, Ro. No, I haven't managed to play it yet. But I'm not playing it until Emer comes on the show, because she told me she was going to come on. I'm had to try and arrange a date with her. Dan Bree, Ro, the Wolf Tones Ireland Unfree. I don't know if we'll maybe play an Wolf Tones song on the show. Actually, you might get us cut off, but we'll fare away with this one next. This is Kelly's Men with the ballad of Billy Reid on Rebel Sundays, folks.
Well, I'll sing you a song of a terrible wrong, when the flags, they all flew at half-mast. Well, a young man lay dead, he was riddled with lead, and he died on the streets of Belfast. Oh, when the radio said, there's another shot dead, and he died with a gun in his hand. But they never said why Billy Reid had to die, for he died to free Ireland. It all happened one day, when the bold IRA, they went out to fight for their land. With that old Thompson gun, put the Brits on the run, to return to their home was the plan. Oh, when the radio said, there's another shot dead, and he died with the gun in his hand. But they never said why Billy Reid had to die, for he died to free Ireland. While returning those guns, Billy met Billy scum, and when the fight had begun, his position was dire, and his gun would not fire, so he died with the old Thompson gun. Oh, when the radio said, there's another shot dead, and he died with the gun in his hand. But they never said why Billy Reid had to die, for he died to free Ireland. Although he lay dead, he was kicked in the head by the hair through the drags him around. But they still fear him yet, and they'll never forget how bravely he withstood his ground. Oh, when the radio said, there's another shot dead, and he died with the gun in his hand. But they never said why Billy Reid had to die, for he died to free Ireland. If you think he was right, come and join him to fight and help to free Belfast. For the blood that he shed, and although he lay dead, in our hearts his memory will last. Oh, when the radio said, there's another shot dead, and he died with the gun in his hand. But they never said why Billy Reid had to die, for he died to free Ireland. Oh, when the radio said, there's another shot dead, and he died with the gun in his hand. But they never said why Billy Reid had to die, for he died to free Ireland. No, they never said why Billy Reid had to die, for he died to free Ireland. Thank you.
There we go. So the Callie's men, they're getting a bit of a skipping there or jumping. Must be there's the internet connection somewhere. It seems to be. I might need to do a software update on my laptop there, the main one. It's I see the wee record deck when it's spinning around, it's sort of jumping and skipping a bit. But hopefully it didn't come through like that there when you're listening there. Right, let's see. Jerry's Wood Stuff says, Rose, say we hello to Breeds, please. She's not well, nor me. Folks, I hope what's wrong with you? I hope it isn't too bad. Jim McClaff, class just 3 hours went like that. Row, fair play, my man. Gene Rafferty, hello, how you doing? Gene, what's the crack? Jerry says, fucking mess up in Dublin Airport on Sunday. Left me with COVID. Oh, Jesus Christ, lovely. That is the last place I want to be right now, Dublin Airport, heading away. Let's see. James R says, I still prefer to listen to your show on Facebook. I've tried YouTube, but prefer the Facebook chat section better, even if there are any spies looking on what you're personally watching on Facebook. Well, that's it. Let's see. Kirsty says, roll to play the Irish Brigade, the Bold 38. Well, listen, we've already played one Irish Brigade track today, so I think we're doing another one, make us cut off again. So it might. Let's see. Gene Rafferty says, me and my granny are watching from Market in Dia. What? From Market Dia Dut. Is that a table? D Dut. Where's Market Dia Dut? Jim McCaff. Row Uncle Nubby Steamboat. That's a shout there. I actually played that there on Friday night, so on the show. I'll maybe get it on. Derek says, Wolf Tones Michael Collins for Carl Ann. Joe, Terry, Rob, thanks. Yeah, we'll maybe play another Wolf Tones one, we'll see. Right, so what do we have lined up next? We're going to play a song from Chris Carney. I don't think I've done his version of this song before. A few people asked me to play Joe McDonald on the show the other night, and I didn't get a chance to, because literally, although we were for 5 hours, it literally flew in, so it did. So we'll do this here now. This is from Chris's album, Live at Potter Brown's. Again, folks, listen, cheers to you all over the last 10 minutes who are throwing me the donations in. Much appreciated, folks. You're all legends. Say it to you all the time, but I do. Thank you. Right, so this is, we're going to do Chris Carney's version of the Ballad of Joe McDonald, recorded live in Potter Brown's in Dublin, who was rocking over the last couple of days. Here we go. So this is Chris Face, folks, on Rebel Sundays. We're down to the last 20 minutes of the day's show. Here we go.
Here's a requested song dedicated in memory of a young man who was fifth in line to die in the hunger strike of 1981. Somebody requested a song called Joe McDonald. Oh, my name is Joe McDonald. From Belfast town I came, that city I'll never see again. For in the town of Belfast I spent many happy days. I loved that town in oh so many ways. For it was there I spent my childhood, and I begged for me a wife. I then set out to make for her a life. I would sow my young ambitions, but with bitterness and hate I soon found myself inside a prison gate. And you dare to call me a terrorist while you look down your gun. When I think of all the things that you have done, you have plundered many nations, divided many lands. Potter Brown, sing it. You have terrorized our people, you rule with an iron hand, and you brought this reign of terror to my land. Through those many months interment in the midst of I thought about my land throughout those days. Why my country it was divided, why I was now in jail, in prison with a crime or a trial. And though I love my country, I am not a bitter man. I've seen cruelty and injustice at first hand. So then, one fateful morning, I shook both freedom's hand. For right or wrong, I'll fight to free my land. And you dare to call me a terrorist while you look down your gun. When I think of all the things that you have done, you have plundered many nations, divided many lands. Sing it. You have terrorized our people. You're aware and iron hand, and you brought this reign of terror to my land. Then one cold October's morning, trapped in a lion's den, I found myself imprisoned once again. I was committed to the H blocks for 14 years or more. On the blankets our conditions they were poor. Then a hunger strike we did commence for the dignity of man. But it seemed to me that no one gave a damn. But now I am a sad man. I've watched my comrades die. If only people cared or wondered why. And you dare to call me a terrorist while you look down your gun. When I think of all the things that you have done, you have plundered many nations, you divided many lands, you have terrorized our people. Sing it. You're a whip and iron hand, and you brought this reign of terror to my land. May God shine on you boys' sons, this courage that you have shown. May your glory and your name be widely known. And young Francis Hughes and Raymond Creech, who died unselfishly, and Patsy O'Hara and Beth and Linus Lee, and to those who lie behind me, may your courage be the same. And I pray to God that our lives were not in vain. But sad and bitter was that year of 1981, when everything was lost and still nothing has been won. Oh, Harry Hughes, McCreesh and Sands, Doherty and Lynch, McDonald, Hurst and McAwee,
Yeah, powerful stuff there from Chris Carney. Recorded live in Dublin and Potter Browns. The ball of Joe McDonnell. Folks, literally where I am here now, probably 3 minutes that way, just down the road, is Joe McDonnell's family home. So it is, and obviously there's a plaque still on the wall. So it is. Right, we'll jump through all these here comments, load them while that song was on. Dahi says, hey Ro, great job twice this week. Yes, minute ago. Jean Rafferty, and she was saying Gia Ditch. My apologies. I was going, where the hell is Dia Doot? So I feel like a dick now, honestly. So sorry if that there. As usual, Spanner had to come out and dig me out of a hole, so we did. Let's see, Rambo's looking, some say the devil is dead. Let's see, Jim McCaff, really love the show, Ro, and the folks are great crack and all they are. Good crack in the chat, so it is. Carl says, Ro, thank you for a great afternoon, great interview as always, not a problem. There he is, the man himself, the Swedish Provo, Big Johan, heading to the gym. Mate, good man yourself, you have more willpower than I have these days. Must get fit for Bundoran and for the fans gathering in December. Yes, mate, because listen, at the speed you drink in Pizza Guinness, like that there, they're going in one, you do need a strong arm. So you're best going to the gym, CR. Rambo says, could you play the Irish Soldier Laddie by Gary O? Yes, we're going out there next day and so for you. Joseph, sitting here watching the show with my brother Sean. He broke his toe last night and won't go to hospital. He thinks he can still go to work tomorrow. That's only going to end in trouble, in tears. Get to the hospital for God's sake and get it looked at. Jesus Christ, you madman, you. Rocket. Let's see. Limping like a greyhound. Derek says, great show, Ro. Thanks for making our Sunday. Mate, I always do. Listen, it astonishes me the amount of people that still come and watch this. The group we have here now, you know what I mean? They're all there every week from the start to finish. Basically involving yourselves in the chat. Basically, when you look at it from the start, nobody knew each other. Nobody knew each other's names, whatever. And it's just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And it really heartens me. So thank you to all you who tune in. Paul Griffin said, listen, I haven't got time to play that one today. I did play it there for you on Friday night, so I did. Let's see. He says he's a bin man. He walks 10 miles a day. Jesus, here with a broken toe. I don't think he'd be walking 10 miles tomorrow with a broken toe, so he won't. Right, so we're going to fit in the last two songs of the day. We're going to do this one here, Irish Soldier Laddie, and then we're going to finish up, as always, with Jackie Duddy and the nice anthem. So we'll probably go a wee bit over 4 o'clock, as we normally do, but sure, what the hell. Right, so here's the second last song of the day. This is Gary Ogue. This was from his album, recorded live in Hamburg, a solo album. So this is one. It's very raw. So it is. He's very, very close to the crowd. This one, so you can hear them all right on top of him. So yeah, this is Irish Soldier Laddie. So great shout for this one. This is from Gary Ogue, recorded live in Hamburg. It's Rebel Sundays, folks. We're down to the last two songs of this afternoon. It just flew in, so it has.
It was a morning in July. I was walking through Tipperary when I heard the battle cry from the mountain overhead. I looked up to the sky and saw an Irish soldier laddie who looked at me right fearlessly and said, oh, will you stand in the band like a true Irishman and go and fight the forces of the crown? Well, he marched through O'Neill to an Irish battlefield for a night to go to field of Exeter. But said I to that soldier boy, won't you take me to you, Captain? It'll be my pride and joy just to march with you today. My brother fell in court, my son and Dennis Scorthy. To that noble captain I did say, oh, will you stand in the man like a true Irishman and go and fight the forces of the crown? Oh, I will march with O'Neill to an Irish battlefield for a night to go to free old Exeter.
will you stand in the band like a true Irishman and go and fight the forces of the crown? Or you march with O'Neill to an Irish battlefield? For tonight we're gonna free old Wexford town. But as we marched back home again, in the shadow of the evening, with our banners flying low to the memory of our dead, we're returning to our homes, but without our soldier laddie. But I never will forget those words he said. Will you stand in the band like a true Irishman and go and fight the forces of the crown? Oh, will you march with O'Neill to an Irish battlefield? For tonight we're gonna free old Wexford town. Oh, will you stand in the band like a true Irishman and go and fight the forces of the crown? Oh, will you march with O'Neill to an Irish battlefield? For tonight they're gonna free old Wexford town.
And that was at there. Ended slightly abruptly there, but listen, that is why that man is the GOAT. So he is. I want to say the GOAT, the GOAT, greatest of all time. There's nobody touches him, honestly. Stefan is a phenomenal singer, but Gary Og is just... What can you say about him? The man is just... He's amazing. See, Johan, want to find an Irish beauty in the rock? Oh, Jesus Christ. Celine just says, Johan, staying in Hobart will get you loads. That man always bounces about. Yeah, that's an understatement there, Celine. So it is. Celine says, thanks for a fab weekend of great music. Stefan wasn't interview. Yes, he was. He's a great guy. Like, brilliant. Paul Griffin, great show, mate. Thank you. Not a problem. Steve Kerr, brilliant entertainment, sir. Thank you very much. Jerry's Wood stuff. My family went to Croatia from Dublin Airport last Sunday. Hope they don't bring it back. Like Jesus. Both goats on even par. Now, Marty, I wouldn't say it there. Like you're being very, very generous there, I think. Madeleine McLaughlin tuned in from Cope Bridge. How are you, Madeleine? Right, Anne-Marie, yeah, good afternoon. Ro, thank you, not a problem. Joseph McGoy, the crack was mighty today. All good souls you are. Marty, thanks for another brilliant interview, Ro. Interview with Stefan was outstanding, not a problem. Right, folks, so we're going to, Ray Callahan, great weekend, Ro. What's crack? Are you still doing the caravan, Ray? Or are you away home at all? Right, so we're going to wrap it up, folks, as normal. Again, thanks to you all who have left me a tip no donation today, folks. Just, I have to keep saying, mentioning these. It blows me away. It's just sitting here and people send you through money and you're like, what? Like, for all I'm doing, sitting here and playing music, and people are sending you amounts of money. I mean, just for it's cheers, honestly. Thank you. Right, so listen. This is our last song. As we'll say at the start of the year, we're going to finish up with this song every year, and most weeks we have been able to do it. But this song is just so powerful when you listen to the words and the lyrics of it. So fair play to Jerry Breslin for writing the song. It's a song called Jackie Duddy. It's a song we always finish off on. It's about one of the boys, young men, who was murdered on Bloody Sunday by the British Army, the Parachute Regiment. This is Jackie Duddy, folks, on Rebel Sundays. I'm back next Sunday. Just myself. Next week, no guests. And then the following week, we're going to be having Paul from the Paddy Boys in County Cork. Is going to be coming on the show. So we'll be getting a perspective of the Cork Rebels up there. Down there, should I say. So yeah, Paul from the Paddy Boys is going to be on as guest. Not next week, but the following week. So there we go. Right, folks, last song's normal. Jackie Duddy. Thank you very much. See us all next Sunday. That's our last one.
Jackie, I remember your face from a far distant place. Yes, I do. Jackie, you were an innocent boy. Why did they destroy your future road to you? You came from a home of 9 sisters and 5 brothers. Up in the Craigan, you were my cousin. You worked with me brother Dustin, named after me father. Died in springtime, tending looms. Jackie, you were just 17 when they shattered your dreams, and we never got over it. Jackie, you'd have found a good wife and had a wonderful life and raised your weans well. In 68, your mother Maureen, she died, and with Willie, your father, we cried. She was so very young. Her sister Dolly said if Maureen had survived, she'd have been in the coffin by your side. Your mother couldn't have coped. Jackie, you were good in the ring, 'cause that was your thing. You would have been a champion. Jackie, your nephew John did you proud. He's recognized by the crowd as fulfilling your ambitions. Your face is painted in murals down in the bog, and I pray to God that you'll not be forgotten. That day in 72, it's etched on our minds, the day that innocence died. They called it Bloody Sunday. Jackie, there were 13 others as well, more unfinished stories to tell. Jackie, 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 our Jackie, Jackie Duddy. On a summer's day in Derry in 2010, thousands gathered again, and the world had gone. The British government said sorry and admitted they're wrong. The clapping went on and on, the cheering went on and on. Jackie, your innocence was declared. Your family's voices were heard after 38 years. Jackie, now you can rest in peace. The false accusations have ceased. The truth has been set free. Paddy Doherty, Gerald Donaghy, Hugh Gilmore and Michael Kelly, Michael McDade, Kevin Michael Henney, Bernard McGuigan and Gerald McKinney, William McKinney, William Nash, James Ray, John Johnston, John Young and Jackie Duddy. Jackie Duddy.
Yeah, powerful stuff here, folks. Jackie Duddy from Jerry Breslin. So that's our last one today, folks. Cheers to you all for sticking around. listen, just on the comments here, hold on a second. Almarid says, Kev OD says he will come on the show. Well, listen, tell him he needs to reply to the messages I've sent him. I sent him like 3 voice notes on Facebook, on his own Facebook, and sent him messages to his Kev OD page. So tell him he needs to reply to me. I'll get something arranged, alright? Just folks, I seen this here video on TikTok before we go. After the match today, the Armagh and Tyrone match, and it's just a short clip, but this is the round of applause that was given for the McAreevy and Hart families. There you go, powerful stuff like so this. Right, yeah. So we're going to wrap her up. Again, folks, thanks to you as well for tuning in, for commenting today, and for leaving comments and tips and everything, and just joining in the show. Cheers to Stefan, great interview. I'm going to see if we can try and get that there clipped, just the interview itself, and we'll get it uploaded. We'll see. Right, so we're going to finish up here as normal with the rant and the vein, as we always do every week of the show. So back next Sunday, folks, just myself, no guest next week. And then the week afterwards, we're going to have Paul from the Paddy Boys in County Cork as our show, our guest on the show. Right, so one second, let's see. Yeah, we'll just get this here up. So, folks, until next week, here's a rant in the vein, and I'll see you all then. Thank you.
Safi alligator, winds are slow, her tender rannikul, they buzz space hair, shantir, a shinshir pasta, the akbar, pantira, not the tar. And got my sabar well, they gone their kill, and was no sill, they gone their scrape, they lavag na bile, Charlotte canny, around na vein. Thanks very much, good night, God bless you all. Chucky Allah. We'll be back at the end of Saturday night.
You've been listening to Rebel Podcast of Rory Carson. To listen to this and past episodes again, and to also check out future episodes, keep an eye on our official SoundCloud page. We're also available on all social media outlets. Just search Rebel Podcast. Bhí sé bh géisteach an sin leis an fád cruailí Rebel le Rory McCarson. The héisteach le seo agus hir hagran a ríis, agus na hagran atá le teach, caisúil síl ethical sugin SoundCloud, agus táid ar fáil gach cinneal ardan na main thuaisiilta. Ní mór ditch ach fád cruailí Rebel a curda.